Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. It's the big one, it's the Manchester derby, it's Manchester United at Old Trafford against, yes, Manchester City. That's the only team that works in a Manchester derby. And it's a massive game. I think we're all very, very much excited about this one. I hope you are. I know a lot of people are nervous about it. There's talk of the team coming out. I think I know the team, but I'm going to digress for a moment and say that it's quite shocking. In a way that we probably didn't expect. Fred starting is necessary. I put that in my preview. I think we all agreed with that, so I don't think we can say that that's a shock. However, there is a shock. There is no place for Martinez and there is no place for Anthony, which, unless there is injury or fitness concerns, and with Martinez there may well be, I've got to say I'm really quite surprised. Martinez is on the bench. Anthony is on the bench. We've got three centre-backs on the bench, which just shows you about the squad imbalance that we've got. I mean, we're effectively playing a left-back at left centre-back in the Manchester derby in our biggest game of the season to bench Lindelof, Maguire and Martinez. I mean, Martinez may well have it may well be fitness issues, of course. But the surprise for me is that you look at that bench and you go, Harry Maguire cost £80 million. Martinez cost £45 million. Lindelof cost £30 million. And we've got Luke Shaw playing at left centre-back. Now, I did say this during the week that this might be the way that he goes because Ten Hag does what he wants to do. And maybe Ten Hag feels that we're not playing a back five. Maybe he feels that... Luke Shaw is the best left-sided centre-back he has at the moment for Manchester United. So, look, Ten Hag has picked the team. Also, Eriksen moves to the number 10 position, I presume. Fred comes into the midfield with Casemiro. I think that's very intelligent. I can't really have any issue with that. I mean, I don't really have an issue with the team. Well, actually, I do. Mahrez against Malacia terrifies me. I'll say that straight away. Mahrez against Malacia terrifies me. Mahrez actually went in my combined Man United, Man City combined 11. So I am worried about that, to be honest with you. But I think I'm done it again. Bloody hell, these hoodies. The Ronaldo one and now this one. No, but look, seriously, it's a Manchester derby. We can win this game. Of course we can. I'm confident. But the team is a little bit of a shock, I think, for everybody to digest. I feel for Anthony. I do feel for Anthony. I feel that it's slightly disconcerting that he's not in there. But on the other hand, Martial starting is a risk. Only trained yesterday. I think, to be honest, it's the beauty of Erik Ten Hag, isn't it? Terry Ten Hag. It's the beauty of him in the sense that he's very hard to predict, and that must be a nightmare for any opposing manager. In the sense that it's very hard to predict what team he's going to pick. The way that Ten Hag manages his team when he brings new signings in, he tends not to throw them straight into the deep end. So to throw Martial in after one training session, I'm surprised. There should be no way that Martial should play 90 minutes today, and therefore I thought he would be on the bench. Sorry, I've just got my headphones tangled up here. This is really... I don't know whether you've got OCD like me, but it really is irritating me a lot. There we go. Look, Martial starts very, very good. Very, very happy about that. But, what level of fitness does he have? I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Just 1 minute. Oh, dear. This seems to be happening every game at the moment. Get the bloody lineups on the screen, please. How difficult can it be? Fucking hell. Sorry about that. I go live and then nothing's... I'm not the producer, so I go live and it should be on the fucking screen and it's not there. So the team is, I'll do it verbally again, even though we pay a lot of money to have it on the fucking screen. Pisses me right off. So the team is David De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Luke Shaw, Malacia, Casemiro, Fred, and Eriksen. And then Bruno on the right, Martial through the middle, and Rashford on the left. There is no Garnacho on the bench. Garnacho is on the bench. Heaton, Lindelof, Maguire, Martinez, Mainu, McTominay, and Anthony Anthony the Brazilian, Alanga, and then Garnacho there. So that's how it's looking for Manchester United. Okay, let me just publish that. And then we should have the team on the screen for you, which I've just put up there. Oh, come on. There it is. There's the Manchester United lineup for you, as you can see. So give us your thoughts in the chat. What are your thoughts? We've had a few super chats coming in. Bruno's going to be man of the match, says Druv. I've played the game. Score prediction, says Matthias. 1-0 Man United. Very interesting back four. Would have thought Shaw would play left back. Need extra legs in the midfield. Good that Fred is starting, says Vignesh. I agree with that. My concern is that Shaw normally gets pulled outside the middle when playing at centre-back. I don't think Malacia can handle Mahrez after what Saka did to him, says Jonathan. Massimo, thank you very much. Well, let's have a quick look at the Manchester City lineup, because the Manchester City lineup looks like this. So, you've got... I can't read that. Sorry. I haven't got my glasses on. I can't read that, man. I'll have to go to the One Football app here. Remember, you can download the One Football app for free. The link's in the description. They sponsor our Stats Carousel. Big shout out to One Football. Get all your latest breaking football news on there. So let me have a look at the One Football app here. Let's get it up. So the Manchester City lineup, as is on the screen for you: Ederson, Walker, Akanji, Aki, Cancelo, De Bruyne, Rodri, and Bernardo Silva, Mahrez, Haaland, Foden. I've got to be honest, that front six is the front six I probably feared the most, if I'm completely honest. I had hoped that Gundogan would start and either Bernardo Silva or Mahrez would be on the bench. Gundogan's actually on the bench. Phillips, Grealish, Laporte, Alvarez, Gomez, Palmer, Lewis. I mean, look, the interesting thing for Man City, and nobody talks about it, is that Manchester City don't have Diaz or Stones. You know, they're arguably their best two centre-backs. They don't have. And not much is said about it, really, because you just got to get on with it, haven't you? So yeah, interesting, very interesting to digest. And I'm just reading a lot of the chat here, and you know, obviously there's a lot of opinion in there. If he had, I agree with Rag. You've got to trust Ten Hag. He is the manager. He's done a fantastic job so far, 100%. Other than Bruno on the right, I totally agree with the lineup, says Mateus. Well, we're not party to the injury status of these players and the fitness levels of these players. For me, Martinez and Varane should be starting and Luke Shaw should be at left back, 100%. But I did mention it on Tuesday. Martinez hasn't played much since the World Cup, and I just wonder whether Ten Hag is happy with that, or understanding of that, or just very realistic about that. And what I mean by that is he's not really brought him back in as a starting centre-back for Manchester United since the World Cup. And I think maybe he's got fitness concerns about him. I mean, he did look a bit rusty on Tuesday. So maybe Ten Hag is like, if I put Martinez into a game like this and he's not at the level I need him to be, and Luke Shaw is, that's what I'm going to do. I would suspect that's the reasoning behind it. What I would say is, what's the fitness level of Lindelof? Because you could play Lindelof and Varane and still put Luke Shaw at left back. I do worry, and I'm going to say it right now, I think some people will be worried about Wan-Bissaka at right back against Foden. I think Wan-Bissaka is a good defensive right back. Malacia against Mahrez worries me, because I think Mahrez is a fantastic player. So that's the only area. And the midfield, look, Man City's midfield is probably the best in Europe. I'd argue that anyway. Pelestri's not even on the bench, came in and had more of an impact than Alanga all season, maybe heading out for loan, says Jim. Yeah, I mean, it's a fair observation. Dimitri says, what I find exciting about the lineup is that they're all intricate ball players. Thank you, Dimitri. Mark, I have a feeling with this game, Ten Hag is going to make Pep overthink. I personally think Ten Hag is playing with Pep's head, says Hasha. And Eric Ten Hag Masterstroke, we cannot blow for blow with City. The longer the game goes on, I would favour United. We have impact from the bench, and it's important to get half-time in the game, says Charlie. Charlie, where's the impact from the bench? Serious question. Where's the impact from the bench? McTominay, Mainu, Alanga, Garnacho, Martinez, Maguire, Lindelof. I mean, Anthony is an impact player, but I don't see impact from the bench. I don't really. I think I don't see a lot of impact from the bench. I think Anthony's an impact player, but I don't really think we've got a better bench than Manchester City. I think Manchester City's front six is very, very strong. I think the interesting thing for me is that I'm not nervous about this game at all. I think some people are nervous. I'm not nervous about this game at all. I think we'll win 1-0. I think the time is now. The time is now to deliver, and I think the players will know that. But I think with you look at that Manchester City front six. Well, you know, and I know they're not playing all as attackers, but Rodri, Bernardo Silva, and De Bruyne as a midfield three. I mean, I don't care what midfield we construct. That's tough. That's a tough game. You know, that the balance of that midfield three, I really wanted Gundogan to play because Bernardo Silva is a fantastic footballer. De Bruyne we know about, and Rodri is arguably one of the best CDMs in the world. So they've got that really good midfield three. Mahrez, I did not want to play. I think he's an out-and-out winger who just can win a game on his own up against Malaysia. Haaland, we've hardly spoken about this week. I think there's been this myth about Haaland that he's going through a bad patch. I mean, his goal-scoring record is ridiculous. And then you've got Foden, who, you know, on his day can be brilliant. He's probably the player I think we can deal with the best. I think Wan-Bissaka can deal with that. So, look, it's interesting how United approach this game. We've got to see a dominant performance from Casemiro. We've got to see a Spurs performance from Fred. And if you get that, we've got to compete in the midfield. But that's where we've got to compete. Varane and Shaw, biggest test of the season. They've done really well in recent weeks. They're up against Erling Haaland. I think the balance is quite good between Luke Shaw and Varane. Malaysia against Mahrez worries me a little bit. That's a battle I think Pep will look to exploit. Rashford's going to have to track back and help out, but then we want Rashford to attack Kyle Walker. I think Kyle Walker against Marcus Rashford is probably, one of the hardest battles for Marcus Rashford to win because Kyle Walker's probably quicker than him. Martial against Diaz, Martial against Akanji and Aki. I actually think they've got a mistake in them centre backs, although they're not as bad as people think. They're quite, they've been quite consistent this year. And then Cancelo and Bruno, it's a bit of a mismatch. I mean, whether Bruno will stay out on the right wing or not, I don't know. So, I've gone quite convoluted through that. But my point is, I think it's how we're going to approach this game. I personally think that the plan was, if everybody had been fit, the plan would have been to go on the front foot against Manchester City and try and pressure them high up the pitch. Maybe we won't do that. Maybe we'll sit back a bit. But look, it's massively intriguing. Mark, I like Luke Shaw as centre-back. Should we get a new left-back in the summer or keep Tellez, says Mikael Roach. And hi, Mark, today's my birthday. Come on, United. Happy birthday to Neil. Hope you're doing well. Look, the Luke Shaw at left centre-back thing, I haven't got a problem with it. I didn't expect it. That's why I'm wearing this. Honestly, I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it because I just think that Malaysia against Mahrez is a mismatch. And I thought Luke Shaw, when you're missing Delo on one side, basically we're picking our second choice fullbacks in very important positions. Like the fullback position for Ten Hag is really important. So I did think he'd find a way of putting Luke Shaw at left back. But nobody can argue that Luke Shaw and Varane could be our strongest centre-back pairing at the moment. I mean, if you put Maguire and Varane, I'd be scared. If you put Varane and Lindelof, I'd be scared. If Martinez ain't ready, then Luke Shaw's the logical point. But it is rather odd. And certainly if I was one of those three centre-backs, I'd be sat there on the bench today looking at each other and going, look at the combined value of us. We're all internationals. And there's a left-back playing at left centre-back. I don't think that's Ten Hag's fault. He's got to pick the team that he feels is in form. I think he's picking the team that's in form. But if I was one of those centre-backs, I would be thinking, it don't look good on us, does it? What does it mean if you win, Mark? To be honest, I'm looking over my shoulder as a gunner. You're in good form, says Joe. Well, I presume Arsenal fans want us to win. Maybe you want to draw, but we won't win the league. And I don't think there's any United fan that believes we can win the league. You know, we're not having the January transfer window to justify that, and we certainly haven't got the squad. But I think we'll win today. I think it'll be a very difficult game. I think there's many. It's one of the hardest games to predict in a derby anyway, because anything can happen. But I think with home support, momentum, I think we can win this game. And I think Man City look a bit vulnerable. But then you look at that Man City lineup and you go, what am I talking about? I'm talking about my arse. It's such an amazing team. You know, that front six. I can't see Man City not scoring, and then yet I've gone with a 1-0 win for Man United. I think we will come out on the front foot. Martial off after 6 minutes. Garnacho on, Rashford down the middle. Yeah, I exactly, Josh. I think that's exactly what will happen. Martial's not played for 90 minutes, I think, this season, maybe, but certainly not since Christmas. He always gets subbed off, so I think that will happen anyway if he's only had one training session. 4-0 to United, says Marky. Okay. Come on, the mighty Reds. Can you call my son Jace a turbo prat for me, says Declan. Oh, poor Jace. Turbo prat. Dimitri says, with the work rate of Bruno, seeing Bruno as at 8 next to Casemiro, keep Eriksen 10 with Anthony on the right wing. I don't think that would be bad to see. Dimitri, I would disagree. I think a lot of us felt that Fred was essential for a game like this. Otherwise, the midfield doesn't have enough bite in it. To be fair, Mark, Garnacho can impact a game off the bench. Towards the end of the game, Garnacho, Rashford, Anthony up front would be fun versus tired legs, says Riley. And can we talk about the importance of Fred today, says Daniel Kirk? Yeah, I think we just did. Do you think he's gone more attacking on the left side because Wan-Bissaka is more defensive, says Karim? I just think it's a massively exciting game. You know, there are certain games where you can predict it off a team lineup, or you can predict it before the game even kicks off. I don't think this game's predictable. I really don't, and I think that's a sign of progress in itself. This is the Manchester derby. It's a Saturday lunchtime. You know, two teams that are very, very close in the league, especially if Manchester United win. The opportunities are there for both clubs to see. If Man City win this game, it could kickstart their reeling in of Arsenal and another title. If Man United were to win, I think it massively dents title hopes for Manchester City and puts us in a very strong position to get that Champions League football, which is absolutely essential. So, look, I think sometimes life in general can overhype a situation. Every game's a big game, and it's this game, and then it's that game. Today at 12 o'clock there's a big game, and then there's another big game at 3 o'clock, and then tonight there's a big game, and tomorrow there's a big game. But this is a big game. This is a big game. You know, the world's watching, but ultimately, who gives a shit? We're Manchester United fans or you're Man City fans. This is a massive game. You know, these are the games that, you look for at the start of the season, but then the season unfolds and it can make it less of a game or it can make it more of a game. And I think here, because of the seasons we're all having, this is a bigger game than the one you saw on the fixture list in August, because it's symbolic. For Manchester United, it's a line in the sand. It's about where the progress is. What do you think of the lineup, Mark, says Jack? That's a great question. What changes would you make if to that team that's there? Mark, what's your score prediction? You got it right the most of the time. I'm going to make a bet. I'm going to go 1-0, but it's illogical, Jonas, because I can't see Man City not scoring, but I'm going to stick with it. That City squad is insane, but this is Pep versus Erik ten Hag, says Carl. It's Lindelof over Shaw for me, says Carl. For him to only begin playing at left centre-back this season and going against the best striker in the world, it's going to get found out, says Carl. 4-0 to United, says Marky. Okay, so what are my thoughts on the lineup? I suppose, would I make any changes? Well, logically, I would pick Martinez. Of course I would. But I'm not party to what's going on the training ground. And I personally think if Martinez was playing what he was like before the World Cup, he would be starting. So I have to trust the manager that... And we suspected it on Tuesday when we watched that game, that Martinez doesn't look quite fit. So I think that Ten Hag hasn't picked him because he's not happy with his fitness levels, which is a bit worrying considering he's been back for a couple of weeks now. So ideally, I would see Martinez at left centre-back and Luke Shaw at left-back. And I'll argue that. Our best back five is De Gea, Dalot, Varane, Martinez and Shaw. Well, Dalot's injured, so Wan-Bissaka comes in. Fine. Why is Martinez not playing at left centre-back and Luke Shaw I think Luke Shaw's a better left-back than he is a left centre-back as well. very good left-sided centre-back. So you've got to look at Martinez there. I don't think you can blame Ten Hag. I don't think Malacia has justified starting on form. So it has to be a fitness issue with Malacia, with Martinez. So I haven't got a problem with the back five because I trust Ten Hag and I think he's picking the team that's fit or in form. So, I've got no problem with that. Ideally, it would be Martinez with Luke Shaw at left back, but there's clearly an issue there, isn't there? Midfield three, I think he's got it spot on. Fred and Casemiro had to start. What you do with Eriksen or Bruno at 10, he's gone with Eriksen at 10. And then the front three doesn't surprise me. And I think he might have adjusted it because I think Martial might have made a decision easier. If Martial was fully fit and able to play 90 minutes, I'd be a little bit like, so where's Anthony in this? But I think he's got a game plan. I think he knows Martial's going to play for half of the game or an hour and then Anthony's going to come on anyway. So I don't have a major issue with the team. And one thing is, look, for me, Anthony would start, Martinez would start, but we don't know the information about the fitness levels, do we? So look, I back the manager, always going to back this manager. I think he's done a fantastic job, and I trust that he's picking the team for the right reasons, which he's shown already this season. If everybody was fit and in form, obviously I think it would be different, but I think Ten Hag would pick a bit different team. Hi Mark, Rodri versus Casemiro, hell of a CDM face-off. We would all love a win, but I'd be more than happy with the draw, says Tom Grant. Can you turn your mic volume up, please, says Stephen. I don't think I need to, Stephen. It's absolutely fine, and it has been for ages, so unlucky. You'll have to turn your volume up. And do you think that the plans bring on Martinez and pushing Shaw out wide for a mental tactic, says Cody? I don't think Man City are the team to go behind to. I don't think you can sort of set a trap for Man City. I've heard a couple of people saying, we can do this, we can do that, we can bring this player on for the last half an hour. But if Man City are 1 or 2-0 up, we're not going to come back. I'm all for plans off the bench. I'm all for plans B, C, D and E. But anyone with a brain will know when you're playing Man City, don't set a trap that you can give them the start and then come back into the race. You can't let, when the pistol fires, you can't do with Man City, let them go in the front and then we'll catch them at the end. You've got to go from minute one in a game like this. You've got to go for it. And I think we will. Haaland is the man I worry about the most. His mentality in beating us is an obsession for him. We need to press close any space he has, says James. And Erik Ten Hag has United set up for a diamond in midfield and Bruno plays as a 10, just a 4-3-3 on paper. Fred to help. Declan, very good observation, Declan. I'll be absolutely stunned if Erik Ten Hag brings a diamond out halfway through the season for the first time. Very, very surprised. And remember, we're playing 3 games a week. So, incorporating a new formation, very, very difficult. I don't think we'll be changing a different formation. Mark, why do you go live? Mark, why do you go live on United Stand Twitch anymore? I've not done it for a couple of days, Joel. So stop panicking. Back to the show. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, the United Stand. Free to subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with the community. Massive day ahead. Player ratings. You can vote for those in the second half. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Match reaction. Full watch along. We're ready to go. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. Every morning at 10 o'clock. We do 2 o'clock shows as well. Get involved with the conversation. The biggest Manchester United fan community in the world. Everybody's welcome. Get your opinions in. Get involved. Subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. And don't forget, tonight, the Mark Goldbridge Show is back on national radio. We're on Talk Sport tonight. Get your calls in. Also, be live on Talk Sport YouTube channel. So, look, hopefully, I think whatever happens on that show, it's going to be a lot about the Manchester derby. And I don't want to be spending an hour and a half taking calls from smug Man City fans. But respect to City, they have got the way Pep's constructed his front six was the way I feared. I had hoped he was going to go Rodri, De Bruyne, Gundogan, and then put Bernardo Silva on the wide with Foden and Haaland. He's actually dropped Gundogan, put Bernardo Silva in the midfield to accommodate Mahrez, and that, I just think Mahrez is a fantastic footballer. Do you think Shaw is played at centre-back in preparation for the Barcelona game, says Sean? Probably. I'm not confident, says Stilton. I feel it's going to be another derby disaster class. I hope I'm wrong, says Stilton. I get that. I don't think there's an opinion out there from any football fan, whether United, Arsenal, City, whatever, Liverpool, There's no opinion that's wrong. Some people will think United are going to win. Some people will think City are going to stuff us. Some people will go, oh, it'll be a bore draw. There's nothing that's wrong because it's so hard to predict. I remember the game at the Etihad back in, was it October or September? I was very confident that we were going to go in and show progress, and we were just stunned, and probably a bit naive. I'm not naive. If Man City were 3-0 up, I'd be frustrated at half-time, but I wouldn't be shocked because I think you just never know what can happen. But it can't happen. We can't let that happen. We've got to be better than that today. Who do you fancy at 9 with Wout and Martial Marks as Ethan? Oh, come on. Wout Weghorst is a bench player for the Netherlands who's on loan from Burnley. Don't disrespect Anthony Martial like that. Welcome to the Members Club, Chris. Thank you very much for that. You're very, very welcome. Mark, thoughts on the City centre-back pairing, says Inyang. Well, you know what? When I look at that Man City pairing at the back... one moment. Right. What? Not at the moment, no. When she's back, alright? Yeah, good. Going back to that City pairing at the back, Diaz and Stones are out. As I say, we sort of dictated the conversation. Manchester United. Oh, Martial didn't train this week, and Delo's out injured, but their best... look, if I was picking City's centre-backs, and I don't watch City every week, I would say Stones and Diaz are their best centre-back pairing. So, look, they've got better centre-backs than us, but imagine if we were coming into the Manchester derby with Varane and Martinez out, and we had to play Magaluf, So, of course, it's an area that we need to exploit. I agree. United Scope, welcome to the Members Club. Thanks very much. I'm not confident. Oh, we've done that from Zoltan. Chris Martin, welcome to the Members Club as well. If you could get any player from City, who would it be? For me, it has to be Haaland or De Bruyne. Carl, I think the lack of striking options, you would say Erling Haaland. But you also expose another good point. Man City play a very different way with Erling Haaland in the side now. They do. They do. I mean, I was talking about the members section. We do a video each week exclusively for the members, and it's always very different content to what we do on the main channel because it's it's extra content. And I did a video this week looking at all the stats for Weghorst, and I compared him to Haaland and Martial and Ronaldo and Ivan Toney, just the pool of 5 strikers to compare everything. And Haaland was coming bottom for pressures in the front position, interceptions, defensive work rate, bottom, passing, bottom. He's not really a defensive forward, and he's not really good on the link-up. So that's a very different Manchester City approach. Nars, welcome to the Members Club for 6 months. Thank you. So, look, Erling Haaland is world class, but he's not. He's quite. He is a bit one-dimensional. He's world-class one-dimensional, but he is a bit... Look, you know what Haaland's going to do. Doesn't mean you can stop him. If you stop Haaland, Man City, they never sub him off. He never gets subbed off. He's what it's all about. But he's absolutely world-class. His movement in and around the box, his shooting ability, he's a handful. And when you've got people like Bernardo Silva, Riyad Mahrez, Phil Foden and Kevin De Bruyne to provide crosses into the box, I've gone with the 1-0 Man United win. I can't believe I've done that because I can't see David De Gea not picking the ball out of the net today. But look, that's what I'm going to go with because I think if Man United are going to win, I think we do need to stop City scoring. But I wouldn't be surprised if we were 3-0 up at half-time. I wouldn't be surprised if Man City were 3-0 up at half-time. I just think it's got that sort of unpredictability about it. I've seen a lot of people moaning about it being a 12:30 kickoff, but I think that when it comes down to that, I'm not really bothered. But I just think that I hope it's raining. I think that plays into our hands. But on Martinez, I think with Martinez not starting, it clearly shows his fitness levels are not where they need to be. Back the manager. Simple as that. So there we go. Confident United at home should have enough to get us over the line as long as we stay disciplined, says Kevin. You know, Kevin's just made comment of the morning. I've not discussed this. I don't know who the referee is. I don't know who the referee is. We've not discussed it. I've even mentioned the weather. On the preview, I said the weather. You know, if it's chucking it down with rain, Man City like to pass out from the back, pressure them. You know, it's not easy to pass in the rain. Maybe that's something we can exploit. The referee is way more important than the weather. I don't know who the referee is. And of course, he could have a big impact. Is he going to let fouls go in the first few minutes? There's a rumour going around that I've cleared the game, says Maxwell. Also, welcome to the Members Club, Ray. Hi, Mark. What time are you on TalkSport? 7:30 tonight, Patrick, till 9 o'clock. Malacia versus Mahrez feels concerning, says Patrick. I think Malacia versus Mahrez is the only area on the pitch I think there's a bit of a concern. Even Luke Shaw and Varane against Haaland. Of course, Haaland could score a hat-trick, but I'm not concerned about it. I think you've got two good players there. I think Walker, Rashford, you know, I think Man City will be quite comfortable with that because of the pace of Walker. I think the midfield, I'd probably give it to City, but with Fred, Casemiro and Eriksen, I think we can fight them. Even Wan-Bissaka against Foden, I'm not worried. But Malacia against Mahrez worries me. I think Mahrez is massively underrated, and I think Malacia is still a work in progress. So it's a potential area, and we're going to have to help him out a bit. Rohit, welcome to the Members Club. 3-2 United, Martial to score. I back him against those centre-backs. It's Oliver. Only person I back is Goldbridge. Let's go United. We're going to beat those City Turbo Prats, says Johnny. Thanks very much for the super chat, Johnny. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Over 30,000 of you already. It's going to be massive. We are currently 28 minutes away from the start of the game. Of course, as Regan said, the opportunity is for the Manchester to be red. But at the moment, Always says that Mahrez is overrated. Well, that's the whole point of me saying he's underrated, because I don't think people do rate him as much. Roger says, why are people moaning about Weghorst? He's taller than Maguire, yet he left both Maguire and Varane for dead in that game against Burnley. Yeah, he's quite mobile. But look, he's not available today. I think the interesting thing with Weghorst is that I think even if he had been signed in time, he hadn't trained with the team, had he? It's good to see the respect people are starting to show Ten Hag, not from our community, but he's had to work really hard so far to earn it outside, says Nick. Yeah. And I look on, I know this community quite well. You get the detractors, you get different opinions on different players, and I think you have to welcome that. The amount of people who spend their time telling people how to be a fan, I think it's fucking disgusting. I mean, I'm not going to name names, but there's just people out there who just think that they can dictate how people support a football club. You can't. And, I think with Ten Hag, I mean, imagine Solskjaer had picked this team. I think quite rightly there would have been a few detractors, because it's not necessarily about the team you pick. It's about the respect you have as a manager to be trusted. I think most people know that our best back four today would have been Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Martinez and Luke Shaw. Martinez is sat on the bench with Magaluf, and Malacia is playing at left back. That would be a big issue, but I think everybody knows already in a short period of time that Erik Ten Hag has built and been quite consistent on picking players that are ready, fit and focused. And, Martinez didn't look that good against Charlton the other night. He didn't. And neither did Maguire. So I think I gave them both the player ratings the same. So, flip it the other way. You start Martinez, he gets burned by Haaland in the first few minutes. We're 1-0 down and we end up losing. People will say we should have played Luke Shaw. I think on form, he's probably picked the right team. There are a few shocks in there, but he's probably picked the right team. In some ways, I think dropping Anthony is a little bit more controversial, although, as we know, there's a lot of fans who don't rate Anthony anyway. Michael Oliver is the VAR. We're screwed, says Jonathan. Malacia stepped up massively against Liverpool to the point where he was arguably the best man on the pitch, says Scott. Yep, good. Today is the real test for us. It's easy for us to beat teams in the bottom half of the table. We need to go out all guns blazing, says Mannix. To me, Beghorst feels like another Igalo, says Stephen, and it's all going to come down to Fred's performance. If he turns up like he did against Spurs, we have a good chance, says Mike. Great point. Absolutely great point. That performance by Fred against Spurs was probably one of the better performances from any individual in a Manchester United shirt this season. But having said that, he's put in a few shit performances in his time, and if he doesn't perform well, then we'll struggle. Having said that, Man City have put in a few shit performances this season. Yazin says, Casemiro, man of the match incoming. I fully believe he's about to break almost every City attack that goes through the midfield, says Yazin. And come on United, get Arsenal our title. City is a one-man team with Harden like Spurs, says Zane. Look, one thing somebody said to me this week was, how do Manchester City beat Manchester United if Casemiro is playing so well and you've got good defenders playing? How do they do that? And I said, because Manchester City are such an intelligent side when they're playing well, it's all about the midfield runners. If you look at the Man City goals they scored against us at the Etihad, or the goals they score against most sides, basically what happens is it's all about the runners. So someone like Fred's really important. Someone like Eriksen is really important. You've got to go with the runners. And if you don't, they will hurt you. They will hurt you. And so Casemiro could be brilliant. Varane could be brilliant. And we could still lose 3-0. Because if Fred loses Bernardo Silva, or, Marcus Rashford doesn't track Kyle Walker, or Bruno loses Cancelo, and they get overlaps and they get extra players, that's what Man City do. Man City, I don't know how many of you play FIFA, but when you play online against someone and they're through one-on-one and you think, I've got a chance, my keeper might save it. And then they do the sweaty pass to the person for the tapping and you go, git, he's definitely scored. That's Man City. They'll play the extra pass to get the better chance. And that's why you've got to track your runners. And that's why Casemiro could be absolutely world-class today and we could still lose 2 or 3-0 because he can't pick up all the runners. And that's why, for me, selecting Fred was so important, because I don't think Eriksen, and we've said this a few times, Eriksen, Casemiro and Bruno is a really good midfield three, but when you're playing Man City, when you're playing Arsenal, when you're playing Liverpool, you need a little bit of bite in there because you're not going to attack all game. And I think bringing Fred in was a good idea, in my opinion. Huge G reaction. I feel Meros will be concerned throughout the game. Hopefully we can keep him quiet, says NTX. Is it a coincidence, Mark, that since the green screen is gone, United have been playing well? Keep the real background, says Connor. I think it is a coincidence. My Lord and Saviour, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Please do smash a like on the video. Let's see if we can get to 5,000 likes before the game's even kicked off. We are about 20 minutes away. If nothing else, for the love of everything, I hope we can play physical and confident, pressing from the start and not afraid, says NY. Well, I spoke about it in the preview. I don't know how we're going to start, and I don't know whether the injuries might have impacted on how we're going to start. But personally, I think at Old Trafford, crowd rocking against Man City, press them. And I think Fred's an indicator of that. You think back to that Spurs game, Spurs just couldn't get out. The press in that game against Spurs was magnificent for 45 minutes. If we can replicate anything like that, then Man City are in for a difficult game, because Spurs just couldn't play through us. Now, of course, Man City are a better passing side than us, and if you get the thing about pressing is if you can get through the press, then you've got options. But I suspect we are going to press them high up the pitch. I suspect that's what the plan is, and I think Fred's very important with that. Bruno can do it from the right. Eriksen knows how to do it. Martial can do it. Rashford can do it. So, Luke Shaw and Varane allow us to play a higher line. Malacia and Wan-Bissaka ain't slow. So I think we're set up, as you look at it there, there's no reason why that team can't play on the halfway line and pressure Manchester City high up. And I think, if you do it for the first 5 minutes and it's not working, you can always adjust. But if you do it for the first 5 minutes and it works, the crowd will react, and then Man City are on the back foot for the rest of the game. Ben says he would have played Rashford as a striker. Malacia started against City last time, so he's probably hungry for revenge. Yeah, he did. Good point, Oliver. Not that he's the one and only one, but that might play a part in Erik ten Hag's decision. It's a big boost of confidence and statements from Erik ten Hag to trust Malacia in a game like this. It is big. And, you know, it's encouraging as well, because I want Malacia to do well. Personally, I feel like Shaw could put in a shift today, keeping Haaland quiet, says Ceresi. Rory says, Chelsea, until Potter changed formation, was a great display. Would take a draw right now, though, says Rory. There we go. And Ten Hag is a master. People are starting to learn. He's top bracket. Look at what he did to Arsenal, says Lee Dixon. And need to be quick, direct attacks as we can sit and try passing about their final third, says Chris. And Arsenal says they only bottle neat the end of the season. Now it's too early, says Leslie Lie. I think Bruno will put in good crosses into the box this footy, and Martinez should be playing, so definitely take a draw now, says TH. Casemiro will be key for United defensively and attackingly too, says Red Devils. And that might be the reason he picked him over Shaw. He's a young player who needs confidence, says Mark. Look, I'm not nervous about this. I think some people are nervous. I've spoken to you about this many times. I'd rather play Man City, Liverpool and Arsenal every week than play Bournemouth. You know, you play Bournemouth, you expect to win. You win it, you enjoy it, and then the next day you wake up and go, that was good. You beat Man City, you wake up the next day and you feel great. The next day you feel great. These are the games you want to play. There's no progress if you can't win these sort of games. I've been looking forward to these since the end of the World Cup. These next two games, and I know Palace has been sandwiched in between, but City at home, Arsenal away. These are the two games because I can tell you that Ten Hag's a genius. I can tell you that Ten Hag has done amazing work since he took over Manchester United. But if he gets stuffed today, he's been stuffed by Man City twice, home and away, and people will say, well, you know, he's a flat track bully. So these are the games you want. These are the games where your faith and trust in the progress is, you know, evidenced. So this is a game of football, but it's also a game of where are we as a football club. And as I say, at 3 o'clock this afternoon, we'll have a better idea of what Man United are all about. And look, I'm not going to pretend that I don't want people to go, if we lose, oh yeah, you were all full of confidence. You know, that Man United side needs a lot of work. It does. You know, the fact that Manchester City can leave out or be missing Stones and Diaz and still play Akanji and Aki, who suit their system, is an advantage. United win, this is what happens when you back the manager. City win, this is what happens when you overspend in the summer, says Tom Lewis. I like that we're easily dispatching the teams that we're supposed to beat. I know these games are huge, but in the past we would win a game like this and then get stuffed a week later. Good point, Nick. If the referee gives away 3 yellow cards from the beginning, we're doomed, says Shiam. And crazy that there's a scenario where we can go into next week's game 3 points off Arsenal. My Lord and Saviour, thank you very much. Let's paint Manchester red. Eugene, thank you very much for that. Well, let's have a look at the benches, because I think we know with United we've got 3 centre-backs on the bench. I mean, I disagree with that. It doesn't matter. There's so many options on the bench. It doesn't matter. But when you put Lindelof, Maguire and Martinez on the bench and then Palestri's not there, I'm like, why do you need 3 centre-backs on the bench? I don't get that. But McTominay and Mainu on the bench, I mean, that to me shows straight away that the squad depth is not good around the midfield, because, you know, Mainu's made his debut and now he's on the bench. Garnacho's on the bench, Alanga's on the bench, so there's 3 young players on the bench. There's nothing wrong with that, but it shows the squad depth is not really there when you're putting 3 young players on the bench and 3 centre-backs on the bench. Anthony's obviously on the bench as well, McTominay's on there. So not a lot of options on the bench for Manchester United unless we need to go to a back 6. Man City's options are not as good as their first lineup, but they've still got good options. Calvin Phillips, Gundogan, Jack Grealish, Laporte, Alvarez. So yeah, they've got a few youngsters on there themselves, but they've got options out there. I mean, the amazing thing about Man City for me is as well, you talk about having 3 centre-backs on the bench, but they don't have Diaz, they don't have Stones, but they can still have Laporte on the bench and have Akanji and Aki starting. They've just got so many options, Manchester City. So many options. I don't get why we compare that Fred performance against Spurs. Spurs are not City, with all due respect, as Evelyn. I think we need that sort of performance, Evelyn. That's what we're talking about. Mark, we should sign Breach, an exciting young striker from the Championship, says Tommy. Would you play pro clubs, Mark, says Kenzie. Not now, a bit busy. Casemiro in our midfield is a big plus for United, says Mike Ross. Yes. I mean, look, we all know how good Casemiro is. It's that time for a stretch. We all know how good Casemiro is. I would say that Casemiro is that important that if he wasn't playing today, I wouldn't give us a chance. Damon, thank you very much for the super chat there. I wouldn't give us a chance if Casemiro wasn't fit today. I think he's that big of a player. So, yeah, absolutely brilliant player and so important. Let me know in the chat what your thoughts are then. Has the team news changed your mind? Sancho is at Old Trafford to watch. I think that is... Do you think we're playing 4-3-1-2? Says Sheriff. Thank you very much. Casemiro and Varane should inform the club and Eric if Isco has the right mentality and ability for us on a free, says Dale. And Mark, we need Sancho back, says Lee. Well, he's not back. You know what? I don't disagree. And I don't disagree. It would be nice to have Weghorst, but we don't have them. You know, and I'm very much the person that when people start talking to me about things we don't have and there's a problem in front of us, they're irrelevant. They're irrelevant. Sancho's irrelevant. Weghorst is irrelevant. They're not here. They can't be used in this massive game. And all that matters right here, right now, is Manchester United at home to Manchester City. That's all that matters. So looking at that lineup, I'm going to go 3-0 United as the alien. I'll have some of that. Would you take Mark, do you think Casemiro will have a big impact? Job, I'm not playing the game. I've played the game, but I'm not playing this game. I'm not going to start giving out predictions. My prediction is that Man United will win 1-0. I'm not nervous. I'm not confident. I'm basing everything on, and I said this the other day, if you're playing a game of football, if you are reading a book and you're telling a story, and life often is a story, it doesn't make sense that United get stuffed today, because the story of Man United is we fell off big time, and at the end of last season we hit the bottom of the barrel, worst ever Premier League Man United side. This season we started off with 2 losses, and you're like, oh my god. But since then, and yeah, we got beat by Man City. We did. And yeah, Arsenal played us off the park at times at Old Trafford, but we still won. You know, we've had to grind. We've had to fight. And I think in the last few games, we've really shown consistency. Progress. It doesn't feel right in the story of where we're going under Ten Hag that we turn up today and we get stuffed. Now, a draw would be progress. Of course it would. A win would be massive progress. But I'm expecting progress today. I hoped for it against at the Etihad. I expect it today. So I'm not disrespecting Manchester City. Everyone knows they could win this game and they could win it very, very comfortably. But I think in the story of where we're heading, we've got to get something today. We've got to. Yeah. I don't know why the formation's changed on the screen, because I absolutely do not think we are going to play that formation at all. I don't know why that's changed. I will be stunned if we're going to play a 4-3-1-2. Don't see it. Don't see it. I don't see it at all. I don't think that Ten Hag will make a formation change, which he hasn't made all season. I don't see it. But yeah, maybe I'm going to wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Ibrahim says that we are going to change. Joe says that's what we're playing as well. Can I just say, I've done this for years and I've watched Man United for years. And it always amazes me how people will say that's how we're playing when we've not kicked off. Like, have you never engaged your brain at all? Or do you just look at what the formation is on BT and go, that's what we're playing? We play 4-3-3. We've played 4-3-3 all season under Ten Hag. I'm saying I'll be very surprised if he changes it for the Manchester derby. But nobody can tell me we are changing it until the game kicks off. And if he does change it when the game's kicked off, then we have changed it. And maybe he has come up with a plan specifically for this game. But I'd be very surprised if he does. I think we'll play the normal formation, which will be Bruno will go to the right. I think that's wrong. I don't think that's right at all. It doesn't even look right. I don't see us playing a front two at home to Man City. I just don't see it. If the formation fails, do you think we'll go back to the usual formation, more defensive, or a change we haven't seen? Says Edward V. And but look, I hope Erik Ten Hag has got a plan for this game, because it might need something a little bit different. It certainly might need something a little bit different today. And you know what? If he did do it that way, I think it would be, massively interesting. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. You're all very, very welcome. Let's have a look how we're doing. Would I take a point, Mark? I knew someone was going to ask that question at some point, Zach. Thank you very much for asking it. Would you take a point? Would anyone take a point now? If I said someone's going to walk in and say we can have a point before this game is played, no. I wouldn't take a point. Fortune favours the brave. Man United app is saying we're playing 4-3-1-2. Says Abdul. Man United app's been wrong loads of times. It's just an admin who's paid 30 grand a year to come up with a theory. It's not Ten Hag's not running the Man United app. No, shit. I would go. I want. I'm not taking a point before this game. It's cowardly. We're in good form. We're at home. We're at Old Trafford. I'm not taking a point before it. We might end up losing, but I wouldn't take a point. And also, you can't take a point before it anyway, because that's not logical. That's not how it works. We're very close to 551,000. We're only about 100 away. So please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Get involved. We're about 7 minutes away. People are getting excited that Jadon Sancho's in the stadium. Don't give a shit. I don't know why people get excited about this. I mean, what do you think Jadon Sancho's going to be doing in the Arndale Centre having a shop? He's a Man United player. Of course he's going to be in the bloody stadium. He's not on the bench though, is he? We can't use him. I don't think Jadon Sancho in the stadium is progress. We need him back on the training ground, and we need him back in the shirt. He can't win us the game from the stadium. What I would say is the stadium can win us the game. He can be one of the voices that does do it. Old Trafford will be rocking for this. I'm so glad that United have signed Weghorst. I think he'll score a lot of goals. So Stephen, again, can't play, so irrelevant. I'm really worried about Malacia and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. They really need to turn it up, says fullback. They need to be in gear. They need to be in gear. They need to be motivated from the off. That's what they need to do. And, if there's one area of the pitch I'm worried about, it's Malacia against Mahrez. But that doesn't mean it's going to be a problem. That doesn't mean that's going to be our weak spots. Often in football, you can see a weak area and it won't end up being a weak area. I'm not... Erik Ten Hag has picked the team. Let's back the manager. And, as many people are concerned that there is no Martinez, I back the manager on that and presume it's because he doesn't feel he's ready for whatever reason. I'm worried. Yeah, so fullback said that as well. Somebody just said it is 4-3-2-1, Mark. It's been confirmed. Oh yeah, I missed that bit where Erik Ten Hag walked out with his formation board and told everybody his plan before the game's even kicked off. Let's see what happens when the game starts. Years ago, we used to get into arguments about formations, and then people realised I was right. You cannot say what the formation is before a ball has been kicked. And I will be stunned if we're playing with a front two. I hate the look of that, by the way. I do not like that front two at all. I hope it works, but I don't like it. Mark's very edgy, says Ruro. Well, if you're not edgy, you're not a United fan. If you're not getting edgy and getting anticipated and getting a little bit angsty, you ain't a United fan. This is the biggest game of the season. I am getting revved up. At least I can admit it. I'm revved. I'm ready to go. Who's that ref? Who's that ref? I like that United tracksuit top. No, I don't. No, I don't. I thought I did, and then I don't. I think the badge is a little bit too big. If it was half the size it is, I'd like it. I presume we normally do a Chinese New Year thing because I've got my jumper, you know, that black jumper I wear with the gold. Yeah, let's get ready to go. Kevin Friend, no friend of mine. That's not the referee, is it? Love the Derby Bridge energy, legend, says John. Yeah, you got to pump it up. You got to pump it up. It's Pratwell, says Joshua. I think this game is more about seeing a good performance and being able to play our game against teams like City than about the results, says Mackenzie Hill. Yeah, look, if we draw this game and we play well, that helps our top four hopes as much as if we win it, because it shows this team they can go against the best. So that when you then go and play Leeds at Ellen Road, or you go and play, you know, Villa come to Old Trafford, you've got this in your head. Well, we went toe-to-toe with Man City. We've got nothing to be scared of. So I think progress is progress. And, you know, a good performance and a good result is progress. You know? And I hope that makes sense, because what I'm saying is I want us to win. I think we are going to win. But as long as there is progression, I mean, we could draw this game and be absolutely shit. Is that progress? So, you know, it could be a terrible game. They could have 2 goals ruled out. What we want to see is performance. That's what I'm trying to say. And performance is progress if it's a good one. I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm not nervous. I love these sort of games. I love them. I love these sort of games. I love it when you're going up against a test. Let's see where we are. You know, that's why I'm looking forward to Barcelona in a couple of weeks, because Barcelona, they're not the best team in the world, but they're a very good team, and in the Europa League, they're probably one of the favourites. So bring it on. Hi Mark, do you think Erik ten Hag can instill the mentality needed to win today, given our past 5 record? Could that be a mental blockade of some sort, says Kian? Well, Man City are dangerous. Terrible performance midweek. Some people take that as a positive, that they might get in the groove of poor performances. Some people might take it as a bit of a worry that, you know, Pep's been bollocking them since then. So, you know, City could go down, they could go up. Hi Mark, been looking forward to this watch along and game all week, says Nick. Me too, mate. Really big test for us. Got a feeling Rashford's going to score. You've got to get Rashford on the ball as much as possible. There's no point. I mean, it's the same for Man City. There's no point having a player that's in hot form and then not providing them with something. So yeah, you've got to get him on the ball. Make sure you subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. You're all very, very welcome. We are on 551,000 now. Massive game. I know you're all excited. Don't be nervous. There's no point in having nerves. You've got to be ruthless in a game like this. It's funny because BT have got it as the formation I think it is, 4-3-3, but you know, what do I know? What do I know, eh? We'll see. Christian's nervous. Players are having a little bit of a hug. Erling Haaland's got a smile on his face. The smiling assassin, the smiling robot. Erik ten Hag looks Comfortable. Right, need to get this timer ready, don't we? The calm before the storm. How do we stop Haaland, says Darren. Yeah, I don't think we need to worry about that. We're playing a diamond formation, and I want to see us dominating, says Abhishek. Abhishek, jog on. I'm bored. I think you're just trying to wind people up before the game's even started. We're playing a diamond formation. You haven't got a bloody clue what we're playing because we haven't even started the game. Can we just start the game? I'm edgy. I'm not nervous. I'm excited. Let's start the game, and then we can all have a good look at what formation we're playing. But until then, it's just semantics. Guesswork. Come on, ref. Here we go. Crowds rocking. Atmosphere. Go. There we go. We're up and running. Timer's up and running. Right. Yeah, we're playing exactly... We're not playing a front two. Can we change the formation? Bloody idiots. Yeah, we're not playing a front two. Martial's up on his own. Bruno's... You can see the formation quite clearly there. Martial on his own. Rashford to the left. Bruno to the right. Eriksen. And then the holding two. Look, let's get on with the game, but I can't believe people thought we were going to change the formation halfway through the season and play a front two. Man City starting off. Good run by Cancelo here. And a foul by Eriksen. It's not raining. Is it raining? We needed the rain. We needed the rain. Sit down, Pratt. See, we're going. I'm telling you, it's been confirmed. We're playing with the front two. Fucking idiots. Jog on. Do your own work. I'm happy we're not playing with the front two. Keep what we're familiar to. We've been building something under Erik ten Hag. We've won a lot of games. Keep the formation to what the players know it is. I mean... The worst thing we could have done is come up with a new formation, get beat 3 or 4-0, and everyone would go, I wish we'd had a go at what we're used to doing. So, slow start though. Slow start. Not 100% happy with this from United. Letting Man City just get on the ball. Like, shine bright, says Saint. And hate chatting and hugging opposition in the tunnel. Remember Keane and Rooney, says Peninsula. We need Sancho, says Leroy. Well, it's a bit of a slow start from United. This is probably all part of the plan. But the press isn't particularly oppressive at the moment. But Man City's passing a bit off there. Just need to settle, get a bit of possession ourselves. Progress. That's what it's all about. Progress. Ruthless. Injustice. We don't want any of that. Feel your way into the game. And it's Man City who typically are looking to press. De Gea goes with a big long kick here. And Bruno actually won the header. Good winner. Good winner. But look, this is what I mean. Second time this has happened. Ederson gets the ball. He's got time to pass it to Akanji, who's got time to take a couple of touches. I'd like to see us stepping up here. I'd like to see us go at them a little bit. You know, I know Man City are one of the best passing teams in the world, but it's at Old Trafford. We've got an amazing crowd. Let's just get at them a little bit and, you know, cause them a bit of pressure. Well done, Malacia there. Good work into Fred. That's it. Find the pass. Casemiro. And that's a lovely little ball by Casemiro. And then Kyle Walker's got good recovery pace. I'm going 1-0 to Man United. Dangerous score, isn't it? Because Man City score and then it's over. But, yeah. Come on, let's get going, lads. Come on, lads. Let's get a bit of tempo. Put them under a bit of pressure, says Gert. Yeah, I do think we could press a little bit more. But, look, it's a 90-minute game. Maybe because of what happened at the Etihad, Ten Hag is a bit, you know, let's just make sure first few minutes, keep it calm, keep it organised. Don't go mad. Can't keep the ball at the moment, says Daz. We look quite, what I would say in the first few minutes is we do look quite focused. We're playing like a team that's probably, well, not probably, we're playing like a team that's got a plan. There's not a lot of, one thing about an energetic start is energy, can be unfocused. We look like we're just keeping the structure, keeping the space. Man City have played one or two passes that are a bit off. We have to score first, or at least not concede in the first half, says Chiri. Random says, one positive, we're already playing better than last time. Yeah, and look, I think when the stats goes round, you can see the stats carousel going round. Obviously, if any of those players go off, they'll have a red arrow underneath them. If they score, they'll have a goal on the shoulder, yellow cards, etc. So that they will update as we go around. The stats carousel will update as it goes around. I said in the preview, Man City will always look to have about 70% possession in every game. What we need to try and do is keep that down to 60 in a game like this. You can't have Man City just dominating possession at home, because you're falling into a trap then, aren't you? It's the thing that we want back. We want teams to come to Old Trafford and be beaten in the tunnel. Old Trafford is a fortress. You can't just let Man City come to Old Trafford and be like, there's the ball, you're the best, we're just going to try and counter you, because they've not been playing like that well this season, Man City. Here's Bernardo Silva into Foden, Cancelo. Plenty of numbers back for United. Cross comes into the back post. Malacia will see it away, and Rashford's there to boot it away. Already uncharacteristic sloppy passes from City, says Lee. Well, exactly. It's they're not. Man City are not. I don't think we need to respect Man City enough to go, there's the ball, we're going to counter you at Old Trafford. They've not been playing like that this season, so I think we can get them at them a bit. But who knows what the game plan is? It's hard to see at the moment. I think at the moment it's about shape, keep your shape, and work your way into the game. And basically let Man City push for the goals. Ten Hag might well have said to the players, look, Man City need to win this. We need to win it, but they desperately need to win it because they're trying to catch up with Arsenal. So they will not want a draw. They'll want a win. And if we're well organised at the back, then there will be opportunities on the break. I think Kyle Walker against Rashford's very interesting, by the way. England teammates. He's very fast. It could be a tough afternoon for Rashford today. What are your thoughts so far, everybody? Happy with the start? United look comfortable. Good passing out from the back there. Oh no, Fred didn't get hold of it. Here's Bruno, nice. That's good. Good play by United here. Casemiro, Malacia. Good bit of play through the midfield. All started from passing out from the back. You've got to take those risks. You've got to take those risks. Bit better from United. Bit more possession from Manchester United. This is what you want to see. Just a bit of possession. It's been a bit of a slow start. We've all seen that. But a bit of possession. That's what we want to see. Rashford down the left-hand side. Overlap should come from Malacia. Nice ball into Tony Martial. Tried to go for the 1-2, but Malacia still got it. Put the whip in the cross. Oh, corner. Martial was there on the edge of the box. Probably should have used him, but offside anyway. Man City don't have their best defence. Playing out from the back could be more difficult for them if we keep a good press, and hope Bruno is okay on the wing, says SK. Thank you very much for the super chat there. Yeah, Malacia had wandered offside there, but the cutback was on to Martial. That was the pass, because Martial could have got a shot off. Am I nervous, Element? No, I'm excited. I love these sort of games. Granted, you know, the reason I went 1-0 is traditionally Saturday lunchtime games are quite tight. I don't know what the statistics are, but they are traditionally quite tight games when they're played at a lunchtime. Oh, here we go. Bad pass by Bernardo Silva. Rashford into Eriksen. Into Bruno. Just shoot from there. Shoot from there. Oh, good. I don't think he was ever going to score, but in the first few minutes, get the shot off. Bernardo Silva with a really bad pass. Rashford gets it into Eriksen. Bruno makes the good run. It's a really difficult angle for Bruno, but there's nothing in the box. Shoots, and he doesn't do too bad. I don't think he's ever going to beat Edison from there, to be honest. Edison's got those angles covered perfectly. But get the shot off. First shot on goal. Man United just gets the crowd going. I don't know if you mentioned it because I dropped off for a few minutes, says Otto. Can we applaud De Gea's kicking and passing night and day from last season? Yeah, perfect, yeah. But Man City have been a little bit sloppy in their passing, and that's something that we will need to exploit. And have exploited early on here. Manchester United, first shot, not a great chance, but a chance all the same. A shot all the same. Thanks to everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. 42,000 people watching. Bloody hell, that's shot up. I thought it was 31. Thanks to everyone who's tuning in. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Remember, second half, you can get involved in the player ratings. Mark every player out of 10. 6 being the average. We'll be in the studio for our fan forum after the game as well. And we've got my match reaction. And we'll have fan vlogs as well. And I'm on Talk Sport tonight at 7:30 till 9 o'clock. National Radio. It'll be live on YouTube as well. Be interesting what the calls are all about. The story is yet to be written. Will it be Man City blue? Will it be Manchester United red? Or will it be purple? Manchester is purple, which I think is blue and red. A draw. But you know what? It has been a bit of a slow start from Manchester United. But as I was saying a few minutes ago, that's not necessarily a bad start for Manchester United because we're well organised. Man City are not doing anything. They're having a lot of the ball, but they're not doing anything with it. Alben, thank you very much. 40 plus 60% possession. I can live with that. You don't want it to go any higher than that. VL says I can't see United winning. Well, yeah, but we've had 12 minutes and we've had the best chance, the only chance. Man City are a lot of the ball, but as I said, we're not pressing. We're not pressing. Look at us. We're not pressing. We're letting them have the ball, and then we're organised in our half, depriving them of the space. So that's a conscious effort from Ten Hag. He's basically saying we're not going to press. We're going to be organised, and back to the keeper. Man City go. Come on, City, says Max. Haven't heard De Bruyne's name yet, says Lee. They're not finding any space. Hello from Hawaii, says RJ. Hello, mates. Yeah, they're struggling to get near us at the moment. We have to realise it was never going to be a complete 180 where we dominate, says Alec, but this is light years better than last game, says Alec. I tell you what I will say, if we can score first, you can already see a game plan, can't you? I mean, if we score first, Man City become more desperate, we keep doing what we're doing, they're struggling to play through us. It's about, somebody said it before and I think they're right, the first goal is massive because if Man City score first and we're playing quite defensive, we've got to open up. If we score first, we can keep playing like this and they've got to open up. Now here's Martial with a bit of space on the spin. I'd run at him, Tony. Run at him, Tony. Nice ball. Oh! Oh! Bloody hell. Ericsson was nearly going to get on it. Cancelo covered it. Rashford was there. And this is what I think. This is what we're trying to. It's counter-attack football from United, really. Let's be honest. It's well organised. Let them have the ball, and then pounce on them quickly when we get the ball. But a bit of possession here for United. Fred's done well. Whip it, Martial. No press, unlikely win, says Peninsula. Cross comes in. Keeper's got hold of that. Yeah, I think the first goal's key. Definitely, first goal is key. It will. If Man City score first, it ruins our organised plan. If we scored first, we can keep our plan going, and Man City have got to try and break us down, which they're struggling to do at the moment. We're well organised so far. Here's De Bruyne. Someone was on about De Bruyne. Tried to put a cross in. Goal kick. Well done, Fred. Felix, thank you very much for the super chat. There's Weghorst. Looks like he's got a lot of kids. That's his wife next to him. She's got one on the chest. I'll try and near something else. Does rhyme with chest. Ollie Ball's still a big part of United's game, says Courtney. Oh, shush. Shush. We're not playing like this at home to Forest, are we? We're playing against the Premier League holders. And we're organised. Scarlett, thank you very much for becoming a member. And there's Edison with a wayward kick. If that was De Gea, people would be saying, you see, this is what I mean. Other goalkeepers make mistakes. Other goalkeepers hit long balls and it goes out. But, you know, De Gea does it and it's like, holy shit, here's De Gea now. So it's a good kick into Rashford. That's his header wrong. It's a bit like, I tell you what, it's a bit like a chess game. Christopher says Fred is man marking De Bruyne. I think he's keeping an eye on him, yeah. You can see it on the screen. Definitely different from last time. We met. Fred doing well. Eric Ten Hag says 100% concentration, 100% of the time. We're getting chances, says SK. This feels like a chess game, says Otto. Both teams are feeling each other out. Well, here's Martial. Casemiro with the misplaced pass. First chance for City to actually try and counter. De Bruyne, good tackle by Fred. He's having a good game. And again, well done. Fred's having a good game. Dennis has gifted 10 memberships. Interesting analysis of Weghorst family, says Sean. Yeah, looked like he had 3 to me. Pep is probably pulling his hair out and then he realised he doesn't have any, says Jack. Well, that was good. Good play by Fred. Fred's had a very good start to the game. But, yeah, the tempo's been quite slow for a Manchester derby so far. Here's Rodri. And that's a bad pass again. Hi, Mark. Rashford is the best player in the world, says Cheesy. And we generally play in transition anyway. Just with the City, they're so good on the ball, you have to be more organised and patient. Force a mistake and pounce when you get a chance, says Joshua. Thank you, Joshua. And I think United are doing a good job to stifle City. Can we see... We have at least learned, and nice to see the hard work put in, says David. Well, the renaissance of Manchester United after we lost to Brentford and Brighton was built on defence. I was doing something for Talk Sport yesterday, and I was asked about the style of play, and I said, you can see a style of play, but we're not where Ten Hag wants us to be yet. That could take 18 months. You know, Ten Hag wants us to be an 70% possession, you know, loads of shots on goal. We're not that yet. We're not that yet. And what he's done is he's built the defence. He's built from the defence. And at the moment, you know, our defence is pretty good. Do you think Weghorst will struggle, says Cristano? I think he'd struggle in a game like this. I think Martial's struggling in a game like this. It's the old graveyard shift, isn't it? But it has to be. Has to be. James, thank you. Welcome to Members Club. Has Foden touched the ball yet? Says Patrick. What are you on about? Fix the clock. It's absolutely bang on second for second with what's on the TV. Fix your brain. Here's Mahrez. But I think there will be stages in this corner to Man City. I think there will be stages in this game where it cooks up and down. And what I mean by that, I think the first 20 minutes has been quite third gear football. I think there will be stages in the game where it goes fifth gear. Is it just me, or has Martial lost a yard of pace this season? I just think, Andrew, I think with Martial, he's not trained all week. He hasn't trained all week, so I don't think Martial's match fit, to be honest with you. But I don't think he's injured. I just don't think he's match fit, so that'll be an issue as well. Corner to Man City, in it comes, headed away by Casemiro. De Bruyne picks it up. But I think both teams will be reasonably happy with the start so far. Well, Man City won't be happy because they're never happy, are they? But I think United will be quite happy. In the context of losing the game, I don't think either team will feel they're not going to get something out of the game at the moment, is what I'm trying to say, because it's very much stalemate. Hello, Mark from Korea. We look so much more organised under Ten Hag, says Taco. Thank you very much, pal. Casemiro is a beast, says Coom. Would you be happy with the draw? No, not really. I mean, if it ends in a draw, there's a lot to build on from that. But no, we're 20 minutes in. There's a game plan, and you can see a scenario where if we score first, I think we can win the game. MB says tiki-taka is so dull. Well, it's interesting, isn't it, with Man City, just observing them. They like to play this way, but Rashford swapped wings with Bruno for the moment. He's on the right and Bruno's on the left. They like to play this way, but then they've got this striker that just, it doesn't suit tiki-taka at all. I actually think Martial is doing well. Little intricate passing, says Luke Darling. Well, here's Foden. There's a lot of offside. There's a lot of work that Martial does off the pitch, isn't there? There's a lot of what Martial does, not off the pitch. Don't run doing work off the pitch. There's a lot of stuff he does off the ball, Martial. Am I the only one not liking Martial's movement? Compare it to Haaland's movement. Martial isn't even in spaces, ready to make runs, says Lee. Well, they're two very different strikers. If United win this, they're in a title race, same as Arsenal. We can't let City win the league again. Hope United win. Cristiano Ronaldo, thanks for joining the Members Club. Imagine if it was the real one. Trigger says, it's amazing that Martial gets criticised for not making goals, but people don't see how he plays off the ball. Well, Ten Hag said it last week. From early 20th minute, I think the plan is meet them high, press from halfway, forcing City to play through compact lines, says Tiernan, then counter and pick moments. Spot on. Good observation. Draw, we have to raise the standards back to where it's win or nothing, says Brian. Well, City are on the attack here. Bernardo Silva's going to put a cross in, and Malacia does well. Haaland could have hit it first time, hits it second time, and good blocks there. I'm glad he didn't hit it first time there. I like Eric's in-game management, says Christopher. Rashi swap, give Cancelo something to worry about. Yeah. This was a chance for City, and this is what I was talking about before the game. Extra man. Why has Malacia ended up there dealing with Haaland and Mahrez? Because Shaw's let him go, and I think if Haaland hits that first time, it's a better chance than taking a touch. But why is Erling Haaland completely unmarked in the box? That's a bit of a let-off. That's what I mean. And that's what Ten Hag's talking about. 100% concentration, 100% of the time. Everything we've done for 22 minutes could have just been irrelevant then, because it was a warning, Andrew Macari. We've done really, really well. That's not Malasia's fault. He's marking Mahrez, and then behind him is Haaland. Communication, concentration, bit of a let-off. And, you know, in a game like this, I think chances like that will be few and far between. Foden's offside. Hi Mark, love your work. Could you say my mate Jackson has Lego hair? It would make my day. Love from Australia, says Apex. I've never met you, Jackson, but apparently you've got Lego hair. Haaland can't eat if he doesn't get spoon-fed, says Mason Reed. I think Malasia's had a good start, you know, as well. He's potentially an area that is a bit of a concern. Lovely play here by Manchester United. Casemiro, Eriksen, Martial. We get it right to Rashford. Interesting ball. And Bernardo Silva was completely lost there. That was very interesting. Fred's playing well, says Kevin. Not Kelvin. Yeah, he is. He is. Look at this ball from Rashford, though. Bernardo Silva's completely lost. If Eriksen had took that down with his chest, he's in one-on-one. Can get at them. That was lovely play. It was intricate play, Aditya, through the midfield. Was it Casemiro, Martial, Eriksen? Nice one-touch football. When you've got the space, you've got to go one touch. Man City are brilliant at it. You know, if you go one touch, like they've just done there, you go one touch, it just moves you quicker. It's harder for the defence to get into position. Lovely ball into De Bruyne. Lovely ball into Mahrez. We've got plenty of numbers back. And well cleared. Tumbleweed says, I've got the TV on mute. I'm enjoying the game. You can see we've improved under Ten Hag. Still more to come. Yeah, it's on a knife edge, this game. I wouldn't say it's boiling. It's simmering at the moment, and it's on a knife edge. We've spoken about it a few times. The first goal in this game is going to be massive. The way United are set up, it's very much organisation to pounce on mistakes. The way Man City are set up, it's basically possession to create chances. It works for United if we score first, because we can just keep playing this model. But if we do concede first, we're going to have to change our model, which will give Man City more space. So if there is a first goal, of course, I think it's going to be massive in this game. Come on United, says UK Enterprise. Thanks for all the super chats, by the way. It's a lovely ball here. Good interception by Malacia, who's having a good game. I think Malacia is having a good game. I think Weghorst will be available for the Palace game on Wednesday. The clock is below Man City. It's right there where it's always been. You know those numbers that are moving? That's a clock. It's always been there as well. Zion says, I don't like how little possession we've had. Well, let's have a quick look at that. Remember, our stats carousel is sponsored by OneFootball. Get all your latest breaking football news stats on the OneFootball app. It's free to download on all platforms. Big shout out to them. But let's have a look at the stats here. So, currently 67% possession for Man City. We need to bring that down. We do need to bring that down. It's not really transforming into chances, but I'm not really comfortable with Man City having 67% possession at home. We need to get that down to 60. We need to be a little bit better on the ball. And that's a bad touch by Wan-Bissaka, but quick interception by Casemiro. And now Fred. Nice play. See again, Martial with the one-touch layoffs, and intelligent play by Cancelo, because Rashford had made the run and he bodied him. He ran in his way. Intelligent there. It's a shame, really, because Rashford in a foot race against Cancelo, he'd fancy it. He got Jacob saying Martial sucks, absolute waste. In the last 3 minutes, he's been involved in 2 counters for United with quick layoffs. I mean, some people just want to hate, don't they? Any news on selling our players in the squad? No, Taco. And hi, Mark. Thank you for the years of great Man United content. Keep safe. And you too as well, the bad joker. Thanks everyone who's watching, by the way. Please smash a like on the video. Get involved. United 0-0 here against Manchester City. Good play by De Gea there. One-touch football. Straight into Malacia. Nice to see it. We're looking a lot more composed on the press, not panicking and losing possession as well. Good one-touch passing through the boxes, Elliot. Oh, look, we're clearly, you can see from the stats there, can't you? We're clearly counter-attacking. That's what we're doing. Trying to force mistakes, organised. Rashford wins a free kick here. He's been on the right-hand side for quite a while, actually. Morning from Washington. Let's go Reds, says Daryl. Thoughts on Martial? I think he's imperative to the system, Faded, and I think Ten Hag has said that. Fred's playing well, is massive. It's 11 versus 11 for a change, says Graham. And City have started to do better. I think Eriksen is starting to stay too far up, says SK. Yeah, I feel like in the last 5 minutes, City look a little bit more of a threat. You know, the game is starting to settle a bit. You can do, you know, I always treat a game as, you know, phases. And I think United need a phase of possession because we're very good with the interception. And we know we can counter. But I think we just need to get a bit of possession because City 70% possession, although this is opened up very nicely. Bruno, he's got an overlap if he wants it to Malacia. It's a terrible ball by Bruno. Terrible. Oh, Malacia has gone down. It is a head injury, so the referee should stop play. Yeah. Didn't really see what happened. It's a shame, actually, because, again, it's a pounce. Bruno, he's got to get that pass right. It's terrible by Bruno, and I think Malacia just ends up catching... Oh, he bangs his head on the grass. That's what happens. I was going to say, there was nothing. There was no connection from Kyle Walker. It was an awful pass by Bruno, though. I mean, at that level, he got an overlap to get that pass wrong. So Malacia has gone down here with a head injury, and but it's a head injury because I'm sure we've all done it. You know, when you fall over and then your head hits the grass. That's what's happened there. Please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. I mean, hopefully it won't be too bad. Actually, I'm just looking at him there. He's down. Let's see what happens. He looks all right. He looks all right. That's a red card, says Levi. Yeah, it's a red card when you bang your head on the grass. Man City have got the ball back. So, I mean, look, I always love these sort of games because they're absolutely huge in the context of your season for your club, for Man City and Man United. But I'm sure there's plenty of Liverpool fans, Chelsea fans, you know, general fans watching this saying it's not the game. It's not the game that we want to see, which I understand. You know, everyone else will want a goal, but for me, it's a good one. It's an intriguing one. That's the word. Here's a ball. Here's a ball. Rashford past the keeper. Shoot, Rashi. Shoot, Rashi. Oh no! Shoot again. Oh, we caught them on the break. It's Wan-Bissaka, lay it off. Shoot, Casemiro. Cross to the back post. And the keeper's going to get hold of it. Oh, I tell you, that was a chance. That was a chance. I don't know. I don't think it was offside. There's no offside that's been gone back for. But United there were in with a chance. And we haven't seen the replay of it. I don't know how it happened. But Rashford was through. He was round the keeper. The angle was ridiculous. I think he had to hit it first time. And then when he takes a touch, I think he's got to pass it to Martial. But we haven't seen the replay yet. But It was a switch. Rashford went back to the left-hand side, found himself in, and the angle was tough, but I think you've got to back yourself. It's on his left foot. He scored 2 goals with his left foot recently, though. Happy to be educated by you, but for me, Martial is jogging and every tack, says Tom. Here it was. So he's round the keeper. Yeah, you've got to go with that first time on your left. Obviously wasn't confident enough. And I don't really think there was a pass. So probably made the best of a situation there. I thought Martial pass might have been on, but I don't think it was. You've got to go with that with your left foot first time if you're going for the shot. Man City had the cover there, but you know, again, as I said, first goal in this game is crucial. United are well organised. City are struggling to play through us. And United looking comfortable at the moment. Here's De Bruyne with a bit of space. I think he thought about the shot. He's put the cross in. Foden did get the header, but it was rubbish. And De Gea has the tack. I mean, Wan-Bissaka really shouldn't be losing on the back post here. Probably would have been off, maybe not offside, but Wan-Bissaka was in trouble there. Thankfully, it was Foden on the end of it. But here's Eriksen into Martial. Nice little layoff. Didn't notice De Bruyne was playing, says Harrell. But the problem with that is that it only takes one chance for De Bruyne, doesn't it? Good play by Haaland there. Here's Bernardo Silva. Do you think Maguire will be ever a starter again, says Abba? Look, Maguire will play games, Lindelof will play games, but in games of this magnitude, you wouldn't play Maguire, would you? So if Maguire wants a future at United, he's going to need injuries. Well played, Malacia. He's going to need injuries, or he's going to need to move. Got 50,000 people watching. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. There's the stats so far. United very much setting up, organised and looking to pounce on mistakes, counter. Man City looking at possession and, you know, trying to create chances. Varane will make that, no worries. Good play, Varane. Nicely back to De Gea. And he's gone for the angled ball into Bruno, who didn't get it but picks up the second ball. Good play. Options. I like the way that someone's always got an option. Now, here's a foot race. And Eriksen's got perfect. Rashford, go on. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Took Kyle Walker out the game. Foot race for Rashford against Rodri. He's in. I don't think Rashford does a lot wrong. Eriksen, such a simple pass. Good first touch. Good. Yeah, probably overplayed the second one. But that's intelligent. And you know, that all started from a ball out from De Gea. Bruno, Malacia moving it quickly, and then there's space for Eriksen to get Rashford in. You know, that's probably, I'd say that's our best constructed attack, because it actually was constructed. It came from good play in the midfield, and then suddenly foot race for Eriksen to put the ball in for Rashford. And that's probably our best constructed attack, and that's what we need to be looking at. But Man City are struggling to break us down at the moment, which is good. And you wonder what Pep's options are, because it's a nice ball into De Bruyne. We've got to be coming back here, Fred. Easy for De Gea. Easy for De Gea. Mark, if Freddie's happy to be a squad player for certain games and off the bench, would you extend his contract? No, Brad, because I think we want to buy a midfielder. So if you're going to buy a midfielder, you're improving your midfield, aren't you? So one of McTominay or Fred have got to go, and Fred's only got a year left on his contract. So if you were bringing Bellingham in, or you were bringing in De Jong, or you were bringing in Enzo Fernandez, they've got to replace somebody in that midfield. Well, you're not replacing Eriksen, you're not replacing Casemiro, so you've got to replace McTominay or Fred, haven't you? So, I mean, personally, I'd let McTominay go and keep Fred, but I think United will go and keep. I don't think United would move McTominay on. Bruno's everywhere, says SK. This game's about the first goal. Such a game of chess. Such a game of chess. Massively intriguing. I might be right with Man United 1-0, you know. That would be a genius stroke if I'm right. Goldbridge predicting it again. Stop being a big head. No, I don't know why I went 1-0. I think sometimes when you're asked for a score prediction, you just go for something, don't you? But it certainly panned out as tight. Bobby says, we'll explain to my girlfriend that this match is more important than a law degree. She says your voice is distracting. Wrong priority, says Bobby. Well, can't she go and work in a garden? Or in a car? It is a massive game. Oh, here we go. Chance to break again. Let's move. Rashford. Mahrez has done well to win it back. Now it's Fred. Good play by Fred. Kyle Walker wins it back. Ooh. I'm getting a feeling this is going to come down to how much energy we can maintain after the 60th minute, says Joel. It's so good to see us defend well and playing a bit of good football, says Jaden. Defence has been very good. Very, very good. Yeah, very good. Nice ball into the box. Foden. Oh, again, another bad pass by City. Now, where's Rashford here? This is where you want Rashford to make a run. He's playing on the last man. He's gone for the diagonal. And Akanji's there. Oh, no. Oh, no, no! No! No, 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 no! 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 Rashford's gone down. Fucking no. No. Oh, no. That's bad. That is bad. He's touching his groin. What? Get in the bloody transfer window. This is what we're talking about. I hate being proved right. I said this. We're not going to play 3 games a week until May with this squad when these players have been to the World Cup. And this is exactly what we've been talking about. And this is exactly why this club is shit. You can't keep playing players 3 games a week. Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. He might be all right. It was an impact injury on Akanji. I think he might be all right. I think he barged into the back of Kyle Walker on his hip, so he might be all right. I thought he'd pulled up with a groin because he was going like that. But I think it might be an impact injury. Calm down. Calm down. No, he's looking all right. Fucking hell, thank God for that. Emergency over. I think... Is it emergency over? Oh, no, I don't know. And now I don't know. No, he's coming back on. Fucking hell, I thought he was walking around the edge. Anthony's warming up, but he's back on. It looked like, at first look, it looked like he'd pulled his groin. It looks like he's banged his hip. Impact injuries you can deal with. It's when someone pulls up for no reason. Oh, God. Casemiro keeps losing the ball, says Ronan. Yeah, but defensively he's been brilliant. Sick and tired of our best players being made of glass, says the Big P. Thank God for that. That was a panic moment. I mean, keep an eye on him for a bit. But I would say you would never let a player go back on if they had a muscle problem. So, do you think Weghorst will be good for United, says Lumb? Well, I'm not really interested at the moment, mate. Too important a game going on the telly. Just watching Rashford. He looks like he's okay. Doesn't look like he's moving with a problem. To add to the wounds they showed Southgate, says Christie. Oh, I can't believe that Pratt's still in charge of England. I'm glad there's no England games for 18 months. And I don't watch qualifiers. Mahrez. De Bruyne. Another bad pass by City. The defensive shape from United's been very, very good throughout this game. I know we want to see goals, but I think defensively we've been very, very good. Apart from that one moment where Haaland had a bit of space. You know, one lapse in 45 minutes. Is the crowd singing Viva Ronaldo, says Mark. I think they have been recently, yeah. I saw someone in the chat saying that Man United are not controlling the midfield. The plan is not to control the midfield, that's why. Our plan is to counter, and that's very obvious. Just keeping an eye on Rashford. He didn't look like he was moving freely that time, but Cancelo into De Bruyne, lovely touch. Cross comes in, headed away. Foden's there, lays it off. Cancelo lays it off. Rodri. Do you think United should bring in new training staff? So many injuries. No, Jossian, I don't think so. Here's United with the chance to break. No, I don't think you can bring in. Nice ball into Malacia. That's gonna go out. No, I don't think. I've been very critical of United's physio and fitness department over the years, but we're playing 3 games a week since the start of August. A lot of these players have been to the World Cup, and now they're playing 3 games a week. You are going to pick up injuries. It's inevitable. Other clubs have and will. The problem, if there's a problem with Rashford, is that we know Martial's not going to play 90 minutes. So if he goes off Rashford, you've got to take Martial and Rashford off. And then you've got to bring Anthony and Garnacho on, which would basically be, not our strongest front 3, would it? So hopefully Rashford will be all right. It looks like he's okay. Shot from distance. Ooh, I think De Gea had it covered from Kyle Walker, but probably Man City's best shot on goal, and it's from 35 yards. De Gea's got that covered. Only 1 minute added on, and it's going to be half time. We've changed it to Viva Garnacho, Mark. Is it more obvious in the stadium? It's more obvious as Finn. Yeah, I was going to say it'd be quite odd for Manchester United to be singing about Ronaldo when he's left and the way he left. End of the first half. Manchester United 0, Manchester City 0. Certainly a fair reflection of where we're at so far in this game. Yeah, get your thoughts in. What are your thoughts? Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. What are your thoughts on the game so far? Look, Man United have been very, very well organised. Defensively, we've been very, very good. There's not been a sniff for Man City. I know that their possession is touching, what is it? Touching 70%. I mean, that's a problem for some people, of course. Luke, welcome to the Members Club. And do you think that was a bit of acting by Rashford? The idea of losing him instantly proved to the fans and the board why he deserves a contract? I doubt it, Big Ash. But no, look, you don't want any team to be playing at Old Trafford with 70% possession, and that is not ideal. But it didn't feel like a game where Man City had 70% possession, because they've had a lot of the ball in areas where they're not hurting us. So I would say that, in many ways, that game has been a little bit like it could have been played at the Etihad, because we've defended, I wouldn't say deep, but we've defended as a unit. Glazes out, says was his face. We've defended as a unit, and then we've looked to pounce on any mistake that Man City make, which is why we haven't had much possession, but we have had more opportunities. We've had 4 shots, they've had 2. We've had 2 on target, they've had none. So all that possession, but they're not able to break us down. And the first goal is huge in the context of this game, because if we score first, we keep playing the way that we're playing. If they score first, we have to open up a little bit more. So I think it's massively intriguing. It could be heading towards a draw. It could be heading towards a 1-0 win, hopefully. So I don't think this is the way that Ten Hag wants to really play, but I think he is very aware that if he goes for it and loses, that could set this team's objectives back. Whereas if he is organised and gets a result, then the progress keeps running. And we may well see a very similar Manchester United at the Emirates next week, to be honest. So, look, we're all hungry to see Man United go toe to toe with Man City and Arsenal, and and beat them. And I'm sure Ten Hag is hungrier than we are. But logically, are we able to do that yet? Look at the bench. Look at the bench that Man City have got. If Ten Hag opens this game up and it was 0-0 at half time, Pep knows if it stays the same, he's got the subs, and we haven't. So I think logically, the way that Ten Hag has approached this game is not wrong. He's gone with organisation. They're really... Erling Haaland's one of the best strikers in the world. Kevin De Bruyne is one of the best centre attacking midfielders in the world, and they're not in the game. Riyad Mahrez is one of the best right wingers, I think, in the league. He's not in the game. So I think sometimes in a game like this, it's easy to just be a basic football fan and say, very boring, we've given up 70% possession. But you would be completely dismissing the superb performances from people like Varane, Casemiro, Luke Shaw, who have basically locked down the centre of the pitch. Now, I think Malacia and Fred have played well. I think Wan-Bissaka's been quite good. But we've locked down the centre. Like, there's they can't play through the centre. Nothing's going through the centre. And we're forcing them down the wings, and they're not really doing much there. So, as a defensive outfit, Manchester United have been very good. Offensively, there's been chances. I mean, look, Rashford's... The best chance for me was the one where Eriksen slipped him in. Just a heavy touch, took it too close to Edison. That was probably the best constructed chance from United. We had the other chance where we rounded the keeper, which was very, very difficult. Had to hit it on his left foot and wasn't confident. We had Bruno, who had the first chance of the game, which was virtually impossible to score, but it was a chance. So I think we've had the better chances, and the game plan is working. But there's another 45 minutes to go. I'm so sick of people this is Ollie tactics. At least Ollie beat Man City with a poorer squad. Give respect, says full back. The majority of the City possession was in their half. This is where Felix would have been perfect. If Rashford had been able to return, board is awful. Give it to Mikey. Thanks for becoming a member. Danny says, we're intentionally not using the midfield to attack. Fred is a defensive player. We're just going on the counter, and that's why Bruno is on the wing. Thank you very much, Danny. Past the Fred service underway, says Haydar. Welcome to Members Club, Josh. So yeah, look, so far so good, and Manchester City, I'm sure, will be. I think the interesting. There's a few things at half time that I think are going to be very interesting. One, will Pep make any changes, or will he just stick with it in the hope that at some point they will create the chance, which hasn't come yet? Two, will Marcus Rashford come out for the second half? I think there was a major concern. I probably overreacted, but I'm concerned about the lack of business we're looking to do in the January transfer window. And that Rashford thing would probably, if it was a bad injury, which it doesn't look like it was, you lose one of your best players. So I don't think Martial's set up to play 90 minutes. He only trained for the first time yesterday, having not trained all week. So I think the way the second half goes, it's just about who's going to get stronger in the second half and in the last 20 minutes. If we were to lose Martial and Rashford, then we are going to become weaker. And they've got a better bench. If we can keep them on and keep doing what we're doing and score first, then I'm confident. So I think it is a game of chess, and it's massively set up. But if that game was to end now, 0-0, it'd be a bit of an anti-climax for everybody. But I think as United fans, we'd sit here and go, well, that is progress. I mean, it's not entertaining progress, but it's defensive progress, and we've set up really well, and we've looked more dangerous. So it's not the way we want United to play, but then, on the other hand, I think we get ahead of ourselves sometimes. We have just beaten a load of relegation-based sides. How many decent teams have we actually played, offensively good against? And there aren't that many. So, progress. Marcel is closing the passing lanes well, but he has to press more, says George. At least pick his moments. We're negating City's game well, but we haven't played our game yet, says George. If we lose due to forced changes, I'll be fuming. All Ten Hag's work undone by incompetent owners, says Alexander. Hope Rashi's okay, but I think we need Anthony for the technical pace on the right, says Clem. And Maguire won 4 of the 6 derbies with the ability to be composed and drive the ball forward from defence. Varane and Shaw aren't driving it forward. Oh my God. We'll just move on from that one. Thanks, Red Army. Are you Harry Maguire's brother by any chance? I mean, what has that got to do with anything? A most organised team since Fergie days. Good to see, says Ricky. Would you make any more changes at half time? No. I wouldn't. I think you've got to look at some point about making changes. And unfortunately, I look at the bench and I think any change is a step down, apart from Anthony. You know, McTominay's a step down. Mainoo's a kid. Garnacho, who am I bringing him on for? Garnacho. I mean, I suppose Martial to put Rashford up front. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I would never want to take Fred off, so I'm going to have to take Eriksen or Bruno off. You don't want to take any of the defenders off. So for me, I don't really want to see any subs at all. I anticipate that Martial will come off because he's not played 90 minutes since Christmas, and he obviously has not trained much this week. I would anticipate that change would be for Anthony, and then Martial goes through the middle. Rashford goes through the middle. But apart from that, I can't honestly say that Scott McTominay is an option, or Maguire or Lindelof are an option. I mean, you could bring Martinez on and put Luke Shaw to left back, but I'd be a little bit reticent to do that. The people saying Tony off are clueless. Tony off for who? Rashford is less effective through the middle. I've cleared the game, says Morgan. Welcome to Members Club Sparks. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. I think with Rashford, we don't know what's happening with Rashford, by the way, but I think with Rashford, it just looks like he's banged his hip. You know, we've all banged our hip before, haven't we? Have you ever done it on the door handle? Oh, you want to go down. You want to go down. Hopefully it's just that. Martial Hate is odd in the chat, says SK. It's also not Ollie tactics. We're in a mid-block and a countering. Nice work so far. Worried about the legs, says SK. Yeah, you know what, SK? I'm glad you've said that, because it's just reminded me of something. This is not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer tactics. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer tactics were a back four with fullbacks tucked in on the edge of the box and two centre midfielders in front of them. And then just pure pace on the break for Bruno to pick it up like a quarterback and try and hit them. You watch Man United in that first half, I see Luke Shaw and Malacia moving up to Varane when Man City have got the ball on the halfway line. So we're still pushing our line higher at times when Man City have got the ball on the halfway line. We're not sitting deep purposely because that invites space for Man City to make runs. We are not implementing a forward press. We are allowing Man City to have the ball up to the halfway line, but the back line is moving intelligently backwards and forwards all the time to deprive City the opportunity to get up the pitch. Sometimes we're inviting a ball in behind, but then we drop quickly. Sometimes we're inviting a ball between the lines and then we push forward quickly. And it's very intelligent what we're doing with our back four. It's got nothing, that never happened under Solskjaer. The difference is that the entire match was played in the midfield. Ollie's team would have sat back and De Gea's game would have decided the result, says Bishwesh. I think Garnacho and Shaw in the left will be good for the last 20 minutes. We do need to be more clinical if we don't have possessions, says Akash. I would have liked Veghorst in a game like this to make some changes. Just funny how long we take to complete signings, says Arjun. De Bruyne has been non-existent, doing something right, says Ricky. And Red Army have a word with that Maguire comment. No football knowledge there, says Nick. I just think we know this game, don't we? We all know this game. It's going to come down. Apparently, Anthony is coming on. So if Anthony's coming on, Rashford's coming off. Simple as that. I'm just trying to see if I've had a message from somebody about it, but they haven't messaged me. So, Anthony on. Rashford's pulled a muscle. I mean, you know, you can hope that's not the case, and you can hope that Rashford will be back for Palace, but he's not back for the second half of a game we need to get a result in, is he? That's a huge blow. And it's just an indicator of where we are as a football club. You know, we don't have the resources, unfortunately, to go and do something, you know, innovative in the transfer window. And this is why a João Felix or a Cody Gakpo would have been really useful for us. Yeah, disappointing. Disappointing. If that is the case, disappointed by that. I think Haaland ruins the fluidity of City's attack. Alvarez would be more suited having a fitty sit. But Tiger, I mean, that's something I've spoken about for a few weeks now, and I think it benefits Manchester United and anybody playing Man City, is that they never take Haaland off. And, you know, I know Jesus is not fit for Arsenal at the moment, but if Jesus was playing, the manoeuvrability and intelligence to drop deep, and Haaland can't get involved in the build-up play. So if they can't get Haaland into the game, he becomes a little bit redundant. But obviously, it's the same as De Bruyne. One sniff and the game could be over. Please do subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We're only 100 away from 553,000. Thanks, everyone who's tuning in. Second half player ratings. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. I'll let you know when they're up on the 70th minute. And then we've got our match reaction, which we'll go through straight afterwards. Let's have a look at the league table as it stands at the moment. So currently, as things stand, Manchester United with an extra point would be third outright, a point ahead of Newcastle, but would still be 4 points behind Manchester City. That's how it is at the moment if both teams get a point. Do you feel confident with Anthony with the game style tonight, says Akash? Look, I like Anthony, but he's not Rashford. You know, he could be a match winner, but I think we all know Rashford off, apparently, is a blow. Huge blow, that. I mean, it might be precautionary. We did it with Delo, precautionary, but then he missed the next game. Uncle Drew says, if Rashford's got any sort of injury, even minor, we should take him off so he doesn't aggravate it. Hopefully Rashford won't be out for too long and United doesn't drop form because of it. Thank you, Mark United. I bought a new pair of red pants for a holiday, which has coincided with every game I've watched. Wearing them, we've won. They weren't dry for kickoff, coming on at half-time, says Lloyd Jones. That's the story. Get those red pants on, Lloyd. We're going to win now. Yeah, Rashford walking off, grimacing. Doesn't look good, does it? If it's muscular, we're fucked. To those saying Martial's had a poor half, please let us know what your thoughts on Haaland's half has been, says Nick. Well, it's a boost for Manchester City, that. Football's such a psychological game. And if you see a player of the quality of form that Marcus Rashford's in, walking off. No, he's coming out. No, he's out. Rashford's coming out. Okay. He's coming out. That's good news. So the boost is back. Martial's off. Rashford's on. So Martial was only ever going to play 45 minutes, wasn't he? Clearly. So Anthony comes on. Martial comes off. I don't think that... One thing I would say is, I don't think that Marcus looked comfortable. I actually saw him walking down the tunnel grimacing, and I thought that was when he came off for half-time. So he's walked onto the pitch, grimacing. Ten Hag's trying to get the crowd up. That can only be good news. That can only be good news. Some tactical games here from Ten Hag showing Anthony early, says Akash. Yeah, well, I think Martial was only ever going to play 45 minutes, wasn't he? But United attacking the Stretford end. Rashford still on the pitch. What can he offer? What can he offer? Because I tell you what, it'd be a huge blow. I think Rashford will score this half, says DJ. Well, keep an eye on him. He didn't look happy coming down the tunnel to walk onto the pitch, but I'm not 100% sure we wouldn't take that sort of a risk. So Anthony looks like he's playing through the middle at the moment. Bruno goes to the right. Rashford stays on the left. That was a foul on Malacia, surely. Yeah, you've got to give the foul there, ref. Well done. Rashi's still on. Yeah, we were led to believe he was coming off. Anthony's come on for Martial. I think that's where the confusion was, because Anthony was warming up when Rashford was injured. And then when Anthony's come on, I think people thought Rashford would be coming off. Rashi Warrior, please don't get hurt again, says SK. And Anthony to score, says Darren. Well, we need to settle back into it now. Let's get our heads back on in the game and let's work it out. and, you know, get back to doing what we did in the first half so well. You know, second half, everyone's had 15 minutes, break, focus, go again. Here we go. Anthony. Oh, he's offside. Those break moves are on the way. Sorry, those break moves are there. I tell you what, it's a tight offside by the referee to get... The linesman's meant to let them go. It's a tight offside, that, isn't it? To put your flag up straight away. Big 45 minutes ahead, says Guitar Boy. We've got to pump it up. Interesting ball into Kyle Walker there. And I think Rashford's got to come off. He is not able to track back. I think Rashford's got to come off. Watch Rashford there again. He's like that. Massively important player for us. But if he's 50% fit, you've got to put Garnacho on. I don't think he looks able to... And Pep will exploit that. He'll tell Kyle Walker as he is. Look at Kyle Walker. Mark Rashford's not there. I mean, maybe they might have had an injection, you know. Storm, thanks for being a member. Right, here's a break. What's Rashford's pace night like now? Anthony, where are you going? Go forward. No, you can't get that. I think sometimes you can see things that aren't there, and I'm just watching Rashford a lot, and he doesn't necessarily... Somebody in the chat said he doesn't track back anyway, so it might not be injured. Please, can I get a shout out for my 3-year-old son Lex as triggered? Yes, of course you can. Shout out to Lex. Hope he's enjoying the game. I'd be worried if we don't bring any more cover, says Alan Noonan. Yeah, in general, yeah. He's got to get the first goal in this game. Such a game of chess. Hi Mark, this game is intense, but so far so good. Love the content, says Matty. Please, could you shout out my mate Tobias from Leicester? There you go. I don't think Bernardo Silva's had a very good game for Man City. I was a bit worried about how, you know, Bernardo Silva is more attacking than Gundogan, but, you know, actually, Bernardo Silva's not been a problem. Mahrez has not been a problem yet. Here he is. Not really going anywhere, is he? Almino says, take Rashford off, it's too risky. Hi Mark, I sent a super chat, but you didn't read it, but I just wanted to say it's my birthday and I'm really hoping for the win. Happy birthday, Jack, and I hope you get the win. I hope we all get the win. I presume you're a United fan. Garnacho for Rashford, says Varun. He don't look right, does he? I don't know whether we've got anyone warming up. But you know what it is? It might just be a simple case of don't worry about the defensive duties and just conserve your energy for sprints. Okay, he's done well on Anthony there. He's gone down injured, Anthony. He's given the foul. "12 times says, I don't think it's worth risking Rashi's entire season." Well, he's given the free kick here, Anthony. I don't think the referee was going to give the free kick. It definitely was a free kick. And Aki goes through the player to get the ball. So the referee's got that right. Chance United to have a set piece. Not really. Whoa. You know what? We've been talking about this over the last few weeks. If you think about the Forest game, you think about the... Was it who we score with Casemiro? Was that... I get mixed up now. I don't think it was Wolves, but Bournemouth, I think it was, first half. Set pieces in games like this. This is what we're on about. You know, can be very important. Garnacho make a difference. My gut says so. Says Valj. Oh, I thought we'd scored. Varane on the back post. Player went down as well. Show it me again. What's going on here? Casemiro. Oh, Varane went down. Varane was offside. I don't know how that works because Casemiro, outside the box anyway, takes a tumble and then Varane would have been offside. Yeah, play on. It looked interesting for a minute. A lot of people saying penalty in the chat and I was like, hold on, hold on. But Varane was actually offside and Casemiro went down a bit soft outside the box. So nothing to be done there. Thanks for subscribing, Harry. Just going to have a little wander here because my back, I don't know what it is with my back at the moment. I've had a bad back day last night, right the way down. Here's De Bruyne down the right-hand side. CY, thank you very much. They've got options. Back post, Bernardo Silva. Didn't go for goal. Haaland, Foden. Get rid of it. No penalty. Yeah, diver. Yeah, bloody diver. Casemiro and Rashford's... Well, Rashford's sprinting there. I think he might be all right. I'm not hiding behind my chair. I'm just having a stretch. Oh, bloody hell, that hurts. I don't know what I've done with my back. Yeah, again, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. De Bruyne puts the cross in, back post. Where's Wan-Bissaka again? They're queuing up on the back post. Got to be careful of this. We're getting pulled in to situations, and Man City have got people stacked up, unmarked on the back post, and that's never a penalty, by the way, for Foden. Absolute dive by Foden. Just actually leaves the ball and runs into Casemiro. But I'm more concerned about these crosses to the back post. Jermaine Genus is the BT commentator. Unlucky, G. I would mute that anyway. I can't. I think he's dreadful. What he said about Man United when we got the game postponed on Match of the Day. You know, remember when the Liverpool game got postponed? He was on Match of the Day with Shearer, and he sat there with BBC, taxpayers' money being paid to say this. I don't know why United fans are protesting. The Glazers spend loads of money. On national TV, he was allowed to say that. You know why you don't know, mate? Because you don't do your job. You don't do your research. That was it. I was out for that. Can I get a shout out for Auntie Nora, who is a massive red? She also passed wind for 5 minutes once because of all the medication she's on, says MB. Can you say hello, please, to Tyler? I love United. Come on, United 2-1 to United, says Tyler. Thank you very much. Okay. Game is starting to move a little bit, isn't it? I think Pep hasn't made any tactical changes, hasn't made any subs, but I think they are starting to up the tempo. I think most of this game has been played third gear. United have been very organised and Man City have struggled to get the tempo going. I sense we're just on the cusp here of, tiredness. What a run here. Bloody hell, where's he going? No penalty there. Casemiro shoved him in the back. Cancelo, get up. Yeah, the game's just starting to get going a little bit here. And tempo's going up, definitely. Spaces are starting to show. Cross into the box. Well done, Luke Shaw. It is. You can see it, can't you? It's starting to go. Come on, you Spurs. Can you keep your hands off my striker, please? Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. We'll have player ratings coming out that you can vote for. We're fading, says Michael. I think Man City are starting to up the tempo. Grealish is coming on. This is good news. Grealish for Foden. I don't rate Grealish, so... I mean, I do rate Grealish, but I don't think he's a match winner. Watch him go and score now. I think Foden's more... I think Foden's a better player. Mark, can you wish my wife Emma a birthday? Says Dab. Happy birthday, Emma. That's going out for a corner, surely. Good play. Kept it in. Everybody out. Everybody out. Robin says someone's going to score soon. Well, we've not had an hour yet, and I'm starting to feel the same. It's Grealish. I just think that, you know, the importance of Martial may now be understood more. The importance of Martial may be understood a little bit more now. You know, we're not holding the ball up as well, are we? Mark, forget about Rashford for a minute and shout out Jack Kirby, who's a hard gambling addict. He has Aaron Wan-Bissaka to score next, and I fear for his safety, says IP. Yeah, that might not happen. Bruno midfield is starting to get tired and the gaps are showing, says SK. Well, I just put a tweet out there. Man City's momentum and United's inability to do anything, I think, has got a lot to do with Anthony Martial. I think their centre-backs are starting to step out. I think Man City are starting to get near our penalty box a lot more. And I think we're unable at the moment to really do anything. Physicality of Malacia has been good, says Christopher on Mahrez. It's killing his game. Man City are starting to dominate now. That possession is worrying. It's now up to 73%. 73%. It was 68 at half time, which is high. But 73%, that's worrying. Eriksen's getting tired. Kyle Walker, good cross. Varane again. Kyle Walker goes down for a penalty. You're never going to get that, mate. Never going to get that. We need someone to pin City in the back, says Beagle. This is what I mean. Martial does a job that people don't realise he does. Who's marking De Bruyne here? Cross comes in. That's a goal. Fucking hell! It's bloody Grealish as well. Oh, God! It was coming, though. It was bloody coming. You could see it was coming. Bloody ridiculous. Ridiculous. You could see it coming since the bloody half-time whistle. That Martial substitution enforced. That front three has done nothing. The centre-backs has started to come out. They've been able to get up the pitch, find the spaces, and there's the goal. We've been overwhelmed. What did I say before the game? It's the runners. You've got to pick up the runners. And how many times have crosses come into the back post on Wan-Bissaka and he's lost his man again? It happened in the first half with Foden. He's lost his man. What? Why is Haaland and Grealish unmarked on the back post? It's ridiculous. They know. You know what? Pep Guardiola is a genius because he knows for the last 2 years, Wan-Bissaka on crosses for some reason thinks he's a centre back and always leaves his man. This used to happen under Solskjaer. Wan-Bissaka's marking Varane. He's got to mark the space. Bloody ridiculous. Ridiculous. And you could see it was coming. I'm gutted. Absolutely gutted. You could see it bloody coming. Oh, Fucking hell. I'm gutted about that. All the hard work and the first goal goes into City. Gutted. It's like asking for a birthday wish from Margot Robbie and you open your email and there's Ollie Murs singing at you. Fuck off. He's out of options as well. He's out of options. What can he do? What can he do? I don't think Rashford's fit. Martial's had to come off. Midfield is tired. And that's the problem. All the work we've spoken about, all the organisation at half time, it's only 100. What does Ten Hag say? 100% concentration, 100% of the game. And I think we all know that's not happened since half time. And unfortunately, you worry about the last half an hour now because somehow we've got to try and get back into a game that we're not in. Varane loses Grealish, same as Wan-Bissaka, but he was too busy marking Haaland to Slow Sports News. Yeah, it's not Varane's problem to mark Jack Grealish, mate. Jack Grealish is a left winger. Varane lost his man, a disgrace, his Red Army. Yep, you're out, Red Army, because you are Harry Maguire's brother, and we know who you are. It's disgusting. I'm just so disappointed. Just so disappointed. Perfect time for Man City to score. Again, it's an impact sub off the bench. They did this against Chelsea. You know, we're playing a very similar game to Chelsea at the Bridge last week, where you could argue that we've been well organised, deserve something out of the game, and then, you know, Pep makes a substitution and yeah, we're tiring it. Grealish, Eriksen's going to get booked. This is what I'm talking about with Dalot, though. Wan-Bissaka is not Dalot. He's not Dalot going forward. He's not Dalot defensively. And on crosses, he's like bloody Kepa and Dracula. He's terrified of crosses to the back post. He was doing it. I've been speaking about it for years. Wan-Bissaka on crosses just comes in like he's a centre-back. He's got no clue how to defend his back post. No clue at all. And if you think he does, Foden in the first half nearly scored. Like, he doesn't know how to defend his back post from crosses. And Man City and Pep knew that, and they worked the situation. But 73% possession at home is crap. How Aaron Wan-Bissaka is still at the club after so many average seasons, it's disgusting, says Lee. They just walked through our midfield with Eriksen on the pitch. He offers nothing, says Red. There's the cross. Yeah, that is absolutely not Varane's fault. This is Jack Grealish. No, to be honest, none of our back four are actually marking players. But that's Wan-Bissaka's man. I'm sorry, and it's happened so many times over the years. But you know what? You could see it coming. I'd literally just tweeted about it and was speaking about it. People give Martial loads of shit, but the team has been so different since he's come off. So different since he came off. Like, We've not held the ball up. We've not occupied their centre-backs. Their centre-backs have started stepping out. They're not nervous. Got to try and just work our way back in now. Fall off from Delo to Wan-Bissaka is huge. Imagine if we had João Felix from the bench, says Francis. Eriksen's been way off today, says Nick. Rashford costs us as Malacia being doubled up on, so Fred moving over to help and leaving space. Corner for United. Shaw and Wan-Bissaka used to always come short and lose their man on the wing under Ollie. Wan-Bissaka just did it again with Grealish and Pep knew it, says Iram. And some of this fan base were hyping up Wan-Bissaka after a couple of average performances against relegation sides. He literally stared at the ball like a bloody mannequin, says Mario. We beat a bunch of also-rans and everybody was getting arrogant about our chances. City just burst all our bubbles. We aren't good enough. There's still time, give it to Mikey. There's still time. But I don't know what the plan is, because the plan was, you know, look at the plan. It's 72% Man City possession. If you concede first, what's the plan? You know, we've conceded possession for 70 minutes. If we concede first, what's the plan? How are we going to create chances when we've played counter-attacking for the whole game? You've got to go on the front foot. I don't know how Eriksen doesn't keep that in. Bader says, reminds me of RB Leipzig 3-2 win. Wan-Bissaka is so bad. It's a hard game to analyse if you lose it, because you basically banked everything on being organised defensively and trying to nick a goal. And if you lose that way, people will go, well, they dominated possession and they won the game. This is on the board, not getting a signing in. Focal point is gone without Martial and we're under pressure, says Mike. It would have been nice to have Weghorst on the bench, have a proper striker that can come on. I mean, Rashford is a funny one. I thought first half he looked lively. Second half, not lively. But if you're injured, you're injured. I don't think he can't be injured. He's just not in the game anymore. Daniel says, I feel like we've had a good game, at least compared to our last game. We hope to see an identity this season in the summer, and we are, says Daniel. I don't think losing 1-0 at Old Trafford to Man City is anything to be, you know, massively positive about. It is an improvement on getting smashed at the Etihad, but, you know, City lost to Southampton. I know they had a few changes, but I just think I don't know. I'm just sort of sat here just disappointed, you know. I don't really want to throw it out as to, you know, what I expect, but I am. I mean, Garnacho's going to come on. I am just disappointed, but I think we don't actually have many options, you know. If things don't go well, it's first team or nothing. I mean, Wan-Bissaka's in trouble again there. Eriksen has easily been the worst player on the pitch. Love the guy, but nightmare today, says Justice. Welcome to Members Club Bailey. Please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Player ratings will be coming out in a couple of minutes, actually, and we'll get that for the match reaction. The league table just whizzed by there. I don't know what that means for us, but Arsenal will roll you over if you play like this, says 58 Go. Yeah, I agree. I think, yeah, no, I don't really have much to add to that. I think they will. I haven't seen anything today that would make me confident about going to Arsenal and winning, because it's the same thing, isn't it? Give the ball up and hope to get something on the break. I woke up at 4:30 to watch this. If we lose this, I'm waking up the entire of California. It's so annoying to see the team give up, says Dead Zone. Why does it seem like we're forcing the ball down Rashford's throat? We have other players, says Alex. We had chances in the first half and we didn't take them. They weren't big chances though, Andrew. Like, I don't think we can sit here. We weren't sat here at half time saying we should be in the front. Like, it was a good first half, but it was an equal first half. I don't think we've had chances to win this game. I don't feel like that. I feel like I predicted United would win 1-0. It might be that Man City win it 1-0. We had the chances, says Andrew. In the big games, you have to take them, even if they're half chances. We've been pathetic, says Treble Red Devil. Mark, stop talking, Tripe. What are you disappointed about? We don't deserve anything. They've had all the ball and all the chances. Well, that's not true. I don't think Rashford is okay. Much more success on the right from City since he went down. He's just not been tracking back, Tom. Man City's only shot on target the whole game, says Alex Groom. It was a sitter, you'd expect that. ADK says racism to Wan-Bissaka is ridiculous. Well, I've not seen any racism, and I hope there isn't any because it's disgusting. We're talking about football performance. Garnacho's come on for Ericsson. We should not be positive about losing to City. We're way off them, and it's pissing me off, says Jay. No, look, yeah, you've got to set standards in football. You have to set standards in football, and you've got to be ruthless. I don't think United have been ruthless in this game. I think there was a plan. I noticed it in the first few minutes. We didn't start fast. We didn't start with a tempo. We didn't get the crowd going again. We decided to sit back and give City the ball and be organised and hit them on the break. And for 45 minutes, it worked really well. Martial came off. We could no longer be organised in the front. And Man City found it easier to play through our midfield because the front three didn't do their job. I think Rashford's carrying an injury. Anthony isn't a forward. And I think, you defend from the front. And Man City started making the runners and making the space. And I think that Martial sub hurt us because he's important in the way we want to set up. But we've not been ruthless today. We haven't been ruthless. We've not had a ruthless approach. We were organised, we were pragmatic, and we had a plan. And at the moment, it's not worked. You've got to be ruthless at this level. And I don't see that from United today. We're not ready to mix it up yet with the big teams. And that is why, and I had a lot of shit this week, that is why I still am not putting us in the top four, because ultimately we're terrified that Rashford's carrying an injury. Delo is a huge loss. We've got nothing on the bench to come on in this game, really. You can't change the midfield. You can't change your centre-backs. We brought Weghorst in from Burnley. We don't have lots of options. So I think top four is going to be very difficult when you're playing 3 games a week for the next 4 months. And also, if we lose this game, the confidence of this team, which is high, will now drop to a reality of, we're good, but we ain't that good. So let's hope we can get something in the next 20 minutes because, here's Garnacho. It's not a good cross. Fred, Man, Mark, Kevin De Bruyne in the first half and not anymore, says Valen. Dark Warrior, thank you very much for your becoming a member. Exposes the myth that Wan-Bissaka is good. Defensively, he's a brilliant tackler, but his positional sense isn't good enough, says Lee. Our team has the quality to compete with City, but our squad is so threadbare on quality. We need to understand that the rebuild will take a while, says the Riddler. Exactly. It's kind of annoying how much Ericsson isn't aggressive enough, says J. Diaz. We have one first-team defender in his natural position, and that's Varane, says Graham Barber. It's just all round. It's been quite disappointing, hasn't it? Because the performance hasn't been. You can't really take much from the performance because it's been. Well, you can take something from the performance because we didn't get smashed, but you can't really take any positives from the way we've played because we've given them over 70% possession. And we've played quite defensive counter-attack football. So you can lose and be like, wow, we played really well. We lost to the better team. I think if you lose a game like this, you've got to get something out of a game like this because the performance defensively has been quite good, but everything else has been pretty below par. So we need to get something out of this game to feel like there is progress. Still time, 15 minutes. Links in the video description, by the way, for player ratings. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average, star for your man of the match. You can start doing that now. We'll go through that on the match reaction. So I give my player ratings in the match reaction, and when I hit a score, it aggregates the thousands of your votes. So we have 2 scores on the screen, mine and what you've given. Accurate player ratings. Here's Garnacho. Just overruns it a little bit. Defender does a good job. And Garnacho gives up a foul. I agree with Nick. He says Fred can't man mark Kevin De Bruyne because he's needing to cover for Rashford not tracking back. Yeah, the whole system fell apart in the second half. We didn't defend from the front. Martial's very important. Occupying centre-backs, making little link-ups. We lost that. Rashford has played on, possibly with an injury, not been able to track Kyle Walker back. An old coach used to say, missed goals equals goals against. We had our chances, says D-Train. I don't think we did have a chance that I can look back and say we should have scored. I think the only chance of the game where you go, you've got to score, is the goal. Rashford rounded the keeper, difficult to take on his left foot. Rashford running through on goal, overhit the second touch. You don't expect that to go in. Bruno's chance, very hard angle. Martial not being there as an outlet and hold-up play in the second half has been damaging. I'm glad people are acknowledging this, Dan. Ten Hag's the manager. I can see it. I think a lot of you can see it. Whatever you think about Martial, the work he does, you could see what Man City did when Martial came off and Rashford wasn't playing very well. Their centre-backs started stepping forward. And if Ake steps into the midfield, well, Eriksen's got to engage him. And then if he passes it, there's a spare man, and there's always a spare man. If Marcus Rashford is no longer tracking Kyle Walker, and Kyle Walker's doubling up on Malacia, Fred's got to come across, and that gives De Bruyne space. Ten Hag will know it as well as anybody. Rashford's through. Offside. It's offside. But Bruno can't be offside. Oh, fucking hell. A goal? I don't know what's going on here. Bruno's onside. Rashford's miles offside. Oh, Rashford. Jeez. Rashford doesn't touch the ball. Don't give me nonsense that he's interfering with play. Rashford doesn't touch the ball. So that's a goal. Rashford doesn't touch the ball. But does he interfere with play? Oh, I need the rules. I didn't celebrate because I knew Rashford was offside. But... Go! Get in! Come on! 1-1. Manchester United. Goal given. Get in! Come on then! Give me some skin! Manchester United. The crowd is roaring. The goal is given. Manchester United. Get in there. Hear that sound. See that scene. Brilliant. Manchester United 1-1. It's like listening to classic Queen and having a cooked breakfast. A feast for the eyes and the ears. In me belly. Come on, 1-1. Manchester United. I mean, look, I don't know the rules. Rashford looks like he's I mean, God, if you're not interfering with play there, what are you doing? I actually can't believe that goal's been given. I'm ecstatic, but I can't understand it. Rashford is absolutely interfering with play. Madness. Absolute madness. I don't understand the rules anymore. I really do not. He actually is running. I mean, Mark, how can you not be interfering with play? He's like this. He's just not. I mean, I don't know. Brilliant. Man United 1-1. Fantastic. The rules will be right. It's not like VAR to get anything wrong. Oh. I've played the game. Somebody in the chat says if you don't touch the ball, you're not interfering with play. I suppose we're probably getting confused with, when you're offside because you're getting the goalkeeper's eye line. And I think that's probably what we're getting confused with. Look, they know the rules. Obviously, that's a goal. Isn't it? they know that rule. I mean, to me and everybody else, it looked like Rashford was clearly interfering with play. But obviously, that's as long as you don't touch it, you're not. Oh, I'll take it. I'll take it, Joshua. I'll take it. Come on, 10 minutes now. Just don't bloody concede. Oh, I tell you. I'll tell you. Well, here we go. Garnacho, he's got the space. Win the derby. Win it. Oh, it's a goal again! I thought he was going to be offside again. 2-1 to Manchester United. You can't believe it. You can't believe it. I thought he was miles offside. Silenced Bridge. Oh my God. Manchester United are going to win the derby. Absolute scenes. Absolutely brilliant. Can't believe this. How have we done this? How have we done this? Just never write us off. Never write us off. City are stunned. They've come home from work and the partner's in bed with somebody else. They can't believe it. They're absolutely stunned. And Manchester United are 2-1 up here. And it's Garnacho who makes it. Receives the ball. He's onside. He has it on the left-hand side. Stands it up. Aki's up against him. Man City's defence are nowhere. Gets it back. Cross comes in. It's a cut-back cross. Rashford's miles on, and he taps it in, and Ederson can do nothing about it. And Manchester United, what a game football is. You cannot get your hat on it. You cannot get your hat on it. I don't know how we've got 2-1 up, but we are 2-1 up. 2-1 to Manchester United. What a game. Ten Hag's loving it. He's up and down. He's screaming and shouting. And United lead 2-1. I'm very rarely shocked. I'm shocked. I saw that cross come in and I thought Rashford's offside. And he wasn't. Oh, God, take a deep breath. Manchester United 2-1 up, 82 minutes. Now we're in the position we've been trying to get in all game. Now we're in the position where we go back to structural, organised defence and get the result. Man City have choked here. Arsenal fans will be rejoicing in the streets, but we don't care about that. We care about Manchester United, and you know the analysis and dissection of this game will be very, very difficult because it has been a little bit smash and grab. But you've got to have the 100% concentration for 100% of the game. You've got to have the belief. You've got to have the focus, and that's certainly what Manchester United have had here. Rashford's incredible. Well, I think Garnacho's incredible. Rashford scored a tap-in. It's brilliant from Garnacho. Varane's telling Bruno to stay down. God, my heart is beating so fast here. I can't believe it. Football bloody hell, says Danny Smith. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We've got nearly 70,000. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, do your player ratings. Links in the video description. Mark every player out of 10. 6 being the average. We sit the plastics down and Manchester is red. We're not quite there yet, Mitch. Garnacho has single-handedly turned this game around. Absolute class, says NYCFC. Cannot describe how happy I am that we have Garnacho, so straight out of Compton. Manchester United would be 1 point behind Manchester City with this result as it stands. And this would be huge. You know, this would be huge. De Bruyne has whipped one into the box. That's not going to go anywhere, surely. Goes to Grealish, lays it off. Careful. Haaland. Oh, God, nerves. Mahrez. Rodri, De Bruyne. Haaland's looking for a penalty. I don't think you're going to get it. Thank God we took Eriksen off and put Bruno where he should have been playing the whole game, says Red. I've lost my voice now, Mark, says Fernando. We should thank Garnacho. He returned from an offside position to pass the ball, says Christopher. Absolutely amazing, Mark. United of the past few years would have rolled over. Yeah, I agree. You know, I think You can't fault United fans when we went 1-0 down that you think, how do we get back into this game? You know, historically, 100%, you would think that. You would think that. And, I mean, Haaland is looking for a penalty here. That's not a penalty. That's not a penalty. That's not a penalty. Let's go Garnacho, says Ear. Ten Hag will enjoy the win, but think he will still have issues with the way we played in the second half, says Dark Warrior. Just get the win now. Get the win now. That's all I'm thinking about. I do worry about... Just keep Man City away from that box. I agree. Moving Bruno to 10 has changed this game. Fred's going to get booked. I'm just trying to... Player ratings, links in the video description. Please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Match reaction is going to be amazing because there's so much to pick out of this game. It's just football as we love it. You know, peaks and troughs. Casemiro's gone down. We don't need to lose him. What's going on with this? Okay, the referee. Oh, okay, the Rashford goal. I don't understand the rules. Apparently, the Bruno goal was given because Marcus Rashford was not interfering with play. I don't know the rules. I don't care. We're winning 2-1. Not loads of attempts, but neither an ollie game, neither smash and grab, says Hamada. Hi Mark, can you say hi Frankie? I love your videos and they lighten my day, says Flight. Hi Frankie. Neil Wainwright, thank you very much for the super chats. I wish we had that ref that blew on the 84th minute, says Neil. Imagine winning the league. Wow, Ricky, calm down. Calm down. I wish we had that ref, okay. We had someone coming from the bench and having an impact, and it's Garnacho. He's probably the only one, says Jim. This is brilliant. Surprised the Gunners are on cheering us, says George. I mean, it's massive for Arsenal. We're nearly into the 90th minute here. Free kick for Man City. Not a good one. De Bruyne. He's going to have to try and find the angle. Goes out. How long's the referee going to add on? The first time in the afternoon I've been nervous because actually I think we're on the cusp of something which is massive and symbolic of progress, which is what we all wanted. It's crucial. Martinez is going to come on. Scott McTominay, I forgot we even had him, is going to come on. 5 minutes added on. Thank God we're not at the World Cup. Football, can just change, can't it? Can change so quickly. I tell you what, it's not a bad thing as well to lose, to win when you've not. I don't want to say we've played badly. I don't think we've played badly. It's not a bad thing to win when you think you're not going to win. If you know what I mean. I think at 1-0 down, you know, we thought that we'd been ground down by City and they were going to find the way. Got a 3v2 here. City have had to commit. Anthony, he's got to look for the pass. Rashford. Garnacho. He's going to shoot. Oh, good block. He's going to get another go. No. It's all going on here. Apparently Maguire's desperate to come on. He wants to be captain. I think that was someone in the chat just having a joke. He is coming on. Maguire's coming on as well. Give me the armband. Another winning performance as captain for Harry Maguire. Rashford will come off now. I suppose you just bring Maguire on for the high ball, don't you? I tell you what, Rashford's done fantastically well to get through this game, and you know, for me, I wasn't 100% sure. That he looked fit. Casemiro's coming off as well. Bruno's given the captaincy to Maguire. Interference only applies for the goalkeeper. Other player can't claim interference. They have to play until the ref blows, says Jonas. We're now in the title race. If we beat Arsenal, it becomes a crazy shot, says Danny. I can't. When do we expect the low back, says exactly. He's got no idea. I still will not put us in the top four. I still think that the demands of the season, we're not even halfway through it yet. But you could be like me and just be worried about the squad. And I don't believe we can still say that we're favourites for top four, but you could say we're not even halfway through and we're in a title race. So yeah, go with what you got. Go with what you think. This is a massive result for Manchester United though. Absolutely huge. Just got to keep the concentration now. And you know what? Defensively, I think Man United have played very, very well. I think the only reason... Who's my player of the match, Chris? Well, I'll do it on the match reaction. The only reason I think that we could have lost this game was just because of one lapse on a cross from Wan-Bissaka, which he's never really been that good at. I mean, Luke Shaw there, perfect. If that was to the other side, I've been worried. Haaland's pulled away to the back post, but Luke Shaw knows how to defend the back post. As a left back, Luke Shaw defends the back post. I mean, the contrast there is why we conceded. It's a lovely cross into the back post by Man City. Haaland's pulled away. You know, as a centre-back, you don't have to go with Erling Haaland. You can pass them on to your full-back. And Luke Shaw defends his back post brilliantly there. I think the change, putting Bruno to number 10, changed the game. In my opinion, that's what changed the game. I think that up until that point, Man City pretty much had control of the game. And that one little change, 40 seconds to go, has changed the game. I think Luke Shaw's been fantastic. I think Varane's been fantastic. I think Malasia's been fantastic. I think Fred was good. They've only got 20 seconds here. I can't wait to do the match reaction. I can't wait to do the player ratings because I think this game has flipped and turned so much. I think if we'd lost this 1-0, which we could have done very easily, you know, it's not a game where you'd go, oh yeah, we were always going to win it. I think 1-0 to City at one point, you were like, we'll do well to get a draw. And then it's very much like Arsenal at home, isn't it? Very much like Arsenal at home where, you know, they had a lot of the game and... we're into the 95th minute here, ref. That'll be it. That'll be it. Kiss my face. Kiss my face. And kiss that, Man City. 2-1, Manchester United. David De Gea falls on the ball. The rule is because Rashford didn't touch the ball, he's only offside if he gets in the way of a Man City player getting to the ball first, says Joe. I'm not saying anything. It's not. I'll let that be digested by everybody else. The reality is the final score says 2-1 to Manchester United. The red pants maintain their 100%. Lloyd Jones and his red pants, this needs clipping up. At half-time, Lloyd Jones said he got some red pants for Christmas, and every game he's wore his red pants, Man United have won. He wasn't wearing them at half-time because they were in the wash. He put them in the dryer, he put them on at half-time, and Manchester United have won. So a big shout out to Lloyd Jones's red pants, and a massive shout out to Manchester United. 2-1 win against Manchester City, and that is progress. That is the only word I wanted to be saying at the end of the game. P for progress. Manchester United have beaten Manchester City. There are lots of pips and bones to pick out of that in the match reaction, but ultimately Man United have beaten Manchester City, and that is progress in a season where that is all we could hope for from where Ten Hag picked it up. And certainly one thing I would say is, as the Manchester City players swarm the referee, one thing I would say is, under previous managers, we would have lost that game. Man City took control in the second half, they made it 1-0, and their heads would have dropped. And I said this the other day, I still worry about top four because I don't know what the mentality of these players are like when things go wrong. I'm starting to warm up about top four because I've seen a result there where the mentality of the players is very, very good. PQ says Wan-Bissaka is underrated. He's been rock solid. Well, it was at fault for the goal, PQ. Sorry. I mean, you know, we've won the game, so it's irrelevant, and we'll give him the player rating in the player ratings. But you know, ultimately, we've won the game. That's the bottom thing. We're going to do player ratings. Get involved in that. Links in the video description. I'll see you over in the match reaction in about a minute or two, and we'll get straight into that. What a game! What a game!